cost us more at the gas pump and elsewhere. Looks like the cartel will pump less oil in the new year.
The OPEC Plus oil ministers came out of an online meeting with more than 2 million barrels per day in voluntary cuts through the first 3 months of next year. They also declared that Brazil will join the bloc in January. The move brings one of the world's fastest-growing oil producers into an alliance that's trying to rein in global supply.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Huge clouds of thick black smoke rise over Gaza as Israeli warplanes strike Hamas targets across the territory. The week-long ceasefire is over. Israel says Hamas started firing rockets into Israel again even before the truce expired. The UN human rights chief calls the resumption of hostilities catastrophic. George Santos could soon be a former congressman from New York. A vote today could expel him from Congress.
Santos says he is a victim of a smear campaign. The first-term congressman faces a 23-count federal indictment alleging he stole the identities of campaign donors and used their credit cards to make tens of thousands of dollars in unauthorized charges. Santos says he is accused, not convicted.
The people of the 3rd District of New York sent me here. If they want me out, they're going to have to go silence those people and take the hard vote.
The House Ethics Committee says there's overwhelming evidence of law-breaking by Santos. Members of the Republican delegation from New York, like Mike Lawler, are leading the arguments for expelling Santos.
He can defend himself in a court of law, but for the purposes of this body, he's got to go.
And good morning.
Truly it unconstitutional. A judge has blocked Montana's first-in-the-nation ban on TikTok. The ban had been scheduled to take effect
How are you today?
in a month.
Good.
On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures are down 22 points.
Know what the
More
yellow
on these
pages
stories
are.
at townhall.com.
Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It
In
is
fact, the pain
18
relief
minutes
is natural
after 8
pain
o'clock,
relief that
and
works
joining
on
us
pain
in the studio
relief
this morning
that
from the
attacks
Roswell
the
Police Officers
source of the
Association. We have
pain.
Scott Maselli.
That's the
I'm sorry.
experience of tens of
Gino
thousands of
Maselli.
Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
Stop overpaying for wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk saves the average family about $1,000 a year on the most dependable 5G network in the U.S. You can get unlimited talk, text, and plenty of high-speed data for just $30 a month. If you're ready to cut your wireless bill in half, dial pound 250 and say keyword spend less, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say spend less, and make the switch to Pure Talk today.
Ukraine's wartime leader assesses his country's ongoing conflict with Russia.
In an exclusive interview with the Associated Press, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the war with the Russians entering a new stage as winter looms.
У нас нова фаза війни, і це факт. Війна складна, зима в цілому.
Zelensky says winter's expected to complicate fighting after a summer counter-offensive had failed to produce desired results due to enduring shortages of weapons and ground forces. Despite setbacks, Zelensky says Ukraine is not backing down. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The Taliban's new ambassador to China has arrived in Beijing. It's the first time Afghanistan's rulers have officially sent an ambassador to another country since the Taliban returned to power more than 2 years ago. News and analysis at townhall.com. A salmonella outbreak linked to pre-cut cantaloupe is expanding and has claimed a couple of lives.
The CDC says do not eat pre-cut cantaloupe if the source is unknown. The number of illnesses and recalls tied to a deadly salmonella outbreak continues to grow. At least 117 people in 34 states are sick after eating contaminated cantaloupe in the United States. 61 were hospitalized and 2 have died. Another 63 illnesses, 17 hospitalizations, and 1 death tied to the outbreak have been reported in Canada. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Biden administration will dole out $220 million in grants to modernize the country's ferry systems. The Federal Transit Administration chief says the money will focus on expanding ferry service in rural communities. The grants to help them acquire modern ferries and upgrade shore infrastructure. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy, finally Friday.
Yes!
The longest week in history because we had a short week last week, and this week just dragged and dragged, but it finally came.
You are correct, sir.
To the end of the week.
I gotta say, this week didn't feel as long. Like, I know there were more days in it, but it didn't feel as long of a week. It kind of zipped by.
Well,
time is one of those weird,
I think
fickle
because
constructs.
I've been fighting a cold all week,
Right.
it's dragged it out. Like, everything's just like, oh, will this please go away? And so, it's been, like, Thanksgiving to me seems like a month ago.
Oh, for real. Like, it's that weird limbo week, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, we really jumped the gun on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so, but we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Of course, Main Street Roswell has their Celebrate Downtown Roswell weekend here with holiday fun all day today and tomorrow. Things will kick off about noon here on the courthouse lawn. They're going to have the Christmas market, food trucks. Then tonight at about 5, of course, the businesses will be open, the Main Street businesses. A lot of them are going to have special sales exclusive to this weekend and things like that. Eats and treats.
Yep.
Like if you pop into businesses, they all got little treats for you and stuff for the next 2 days here. So good fun time to be down in the Main Street quarter this weekend. But beginning at 5:30 this evening, here comes Santa Claus. Santa will be arriving 3rd to 4th Street in front of the courthouse with Santa's elves. They also have badges, I hear. Will be leading the way.
Just so you know, there's going to be some elves that are going to show up counterfeit.
It's,
just like those are undercover.
They got badges. No, it's going to be the sheriff's department helping out. The elves are busy in the North Pole. I mean, come on. And so they're going to, bring them in on because the sleigh's getting work done right now, getting ready for the big season. The elves are busy making toys and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
So sheriff's department's going to handle it.
Do you think Mike got a little upset when somebody called him like, "Hey, you want to be an elf?" He's like, "What are you insinuating?"
Us short people deal with that a lot. Yeah, they asked me too. Shut up. Me and my wife.
I was like, "What's your wife doing?"
Yeah, so we could go into smaller entrances than most people. What of it?
At night, I go home and rest my head on my tiny pillow.
That's right. You never have me complain about things being too small. I'm just like, it's just right.
It's snug. I like it. It's built for me.
One thing I complain about is too small to try to feed me like an elf. Don't feed me like an elf. I'm a full-grown man.
You know what is
I live in elf things.
It is a lot of fun, though, to put things on the highest shelf in the house of a short person.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you're never going to see this again.
Well, I still get to enjoy that.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm short, but my wife is shorter.
That is true. You get to enjoy being tall enough to get to the high place, but also you get to enjoy the unknown.
I know. I'm the sweet middle. I'm
That's
that
true.
creamy filling that everybody loves.
I'm that guy who, as I'm walking through the store, I get, "Excuse me, sir.
That's right.
Can you hand me 3?"
I don't get that, but at the same time, I don't need that assistance usually either. Because if it's up that high, I don't need it.
I got me a grabber claw.
That's right. Got me skills. No, I'm not that guy either that will climb shelves.
I was just going to say Spider-Man up the shelves.
I'm Spider-Man. I got it. But anyway,
yes,
Santa's elves will be bringing Santa in at 5:30. And then at 6 p.m. this evening, Santa Claus will light the community Christmas tree. And then, of course, there'll be Christmas caroling and stuff all day. So that's kind of the highlights of today. And then tomorrow, the Christmas market, everything will kind of open up at 10 a.m. From noon to 4, they're going to have free kids crafts on the courthouse lawn, so you can come and do crafts, make ornaments, things like that. I mentioned stringing popcorn. I think they like that idea. Like I came up with it like it's some new invention, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, stringing popcorn, we should do that. I was like, well, you're calling it a traditional Christmas. That's pretty traditional for me.
We used to do corn pops.
Oh, really?
Like string corn pops together.
Okay. Are they cheaper than popcorn?
I don't know. That's
they're
just
stickier.
They're stickier. That's just what we did. Like as a church or whatever, we would do corn pops.
I feel like that's going to create a much more
I will say it was a delicious excursion because you did one for the string, one for me.
All right. Just when you take them down, they're probably not so fresh.
Yeah.
Don't want to eat those corn pops. But so they'll be doing the crafts from noon to 4. From 11 to 4, they'll be doing free digital photos with Santa. And basically, Santa's there. You bring your camera, and you can get your pictures and all that. But on top of that, too, they're also going to have the that 360 deal. And I think you pay a small fee if you want to do that. They'll have that available out there. And that's and then, of course, at 6 o'clock tomorrow, the Electric Light Parade will begin. The theme is an old-fashioned Christmas. And it'll travel south. It'll south till 3rd Street. It says Alameda on here, but they have to cut it off at 3rd Street because of logistics and all that stuff. And then after the parade, around 7 p.m., they're going to be doing the free movie on the courthouse lawn, and it's a Muppets Christmas.
Oh, nice!
It's a Muppets movie. I am so
Muppet
sorry.
Christmas Carol.
I think it is. I think you're right.
That's the only Christmas movie they ever did. I think.
Okay. She said Muppets, and then I was like, oh man, which Muppets movie is it again?
Which actually kind of or like triggers something in my head.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? I think it's the Muppets Take Manhattan. I think that's.
I
the
have,
one.
but it's so long.
There's a scene in that movie wherein Kermit the Frog pilots a bicycle.
Okay.
And it's just very disturbing because the way they did it, they fixed it to where
he had
they
legs
showed him full body, and you could see him pedaling the bike. There's something so off-putting about seeing a Muppet's legs.
Yeah.
Like seeing a Muppet's functional legs really messes you up as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. In operation. Yeah.
Because you're like, first of all, they don't look like how legs should look, and secondly, it's just you've never imagined that half of a Muppet.
I don't think Jim Henson was a leg man.
He was really a torso guy.
Yeah, he was good from the waist up. He nailed it.
He gets his kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
But, yeah, you're right. I get that. But now I'm trying to think that, like, when that movie came out, was there enough CGI to
No,
fake
it wasn't.
that?
They made a Kermit with feet, and they like tacked the feet to the bike's pedals, and then operated the bike mechanically.
So really, the pedals are moving the legs, not the legs moving the pedals.
Which is again very off-putting because you can see those legs aren't really exerting any effort.
Right.
It's just they're going with the flow. And all these things were going through my mind when I was 7.
Well, and the fact that he hauls butt and then he's got sticks for legs, you're like, you ain't got the muscle power to make that thing move like that.
Right.
But anyway,
your legs are like 1.5 the length of your torso.
Well. Come out for the free movie.
But I digress.
And enjoy it. But that's 2 full days going on. Of course, we got the Wool Bowl tonight. The kickoff will be at 5 o'clock. Everything gets underway at 3 p.m. there in the Wool Bowl with the food trucks and tailgate. And then Will Bannister concert roughly around 4 o'clock there. And then kickoff. I'm sorry, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah.
I said 5. I meant 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock kickoff. We'll have the game for you here on the radio. Pre-game will start, I'm going to guesstimate right around 5:40 or so.
Right.
We did the coaches' interviews and stuff yesterday, so I'm trying to, in my head, do about how long those were. And so I'm going to guess we're going to have about 20 minutes of pregame.
Okay.
And so we'll kick off the pregame show about 5:40, and then kickoff will be at 6 for the 2023 Xcel Energy Wool Bowl. KSVPTV.com. Click on the Wool Bowl channel. We'll have the game for you, live streaming video. But you guys are here local. $5 gets you in the game.
That's right.
Go to woolbowl.net or just bring your $5 with you this afternoon and get in and get you a great seat there. You can see the Will Bannister concert. You can eat up on the food trucks, have a good time, and then root on for the big game here. Whether you're a Broncos fan or a Dodge City
Conquistador,
Dodge City Community College Conquistador.
Yes.
Yes, say that 3 times fast.
Dodge City Community College. I'm studying VCR repair, and I'm a conquistador.
Well, they're, from what I'm understanding, they're 7th in the nation in JUCO. Dodge City is, and the Institute is 14th ranked.
Nice.
So your Broncos are a bit of an underdog for this year's Wool Bowl, but should be an exciting game. But that's the thing about this is if you've watched the Broncos all season, they've had their ups and downs, but they're battle tested. Like they've had injuries, they've had a lot of adversity, and they're still kind of going through it. So don't count the Broncos out. They're going to come to play.
We're going up against it's like the Titans. Remember the Titans?
No. Well, the Dodge City's great. They're a good team. The coach, and this is me kind of learning. Like I think this is his 2nd year, and he's really turned that program around in the 2 years that he's been coaching there. And so they're like an up and coming team that's really strong. So you're going to see a good football game tonight in the Wool Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
2 good teams. It's going to be if you're just a fan of football, you're going to see quality football tonight at the Wool Bowl. $5 get you in to go and have some fun. See the concert for free.
Yeah.
Load up on food truck fare and then mosey on in and enjoy an awesome football game. A chance to win $50,000 at halftime thanks to Richland Dodge. I know this is the worst kept secret in all of town, but I hear tell that they're going to kick things off very similar to last year with a little whirly bird maybe coming in to handle some business.
That'd be cool.
All that
pretty
tonight.
doggone cool.
Big thank you to McDonald's.
Yes,
they are kind enough to produce us with breakfast every single day. You can't get it right this second, but if you're a McRibbon, the McRibs are back.
The deadbeat dad of the sandwich game.
I've had 3 since I've known. I have. I'm a mark for them.
I haven't. I'll have my obligatory one.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten the hankering for it just yet.
I just like that whole onion pickle extra sauce.
Now, can I tell you the pro move?
I just like it.
Can I tell you the pro move?
Sure.
And if you catch them at a good enough time and they're in a good enough mood, they'll do this for you. Ask them if you can get a little bit of the sauce on the side. The McRib sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then go au jus with it.
Well, in quite honesty, when I usually get it, they put so much sauce on the sandwich. I do have sauce on the side. I can literally dip
Get more of it.
I can literally dip it in the container it comes in. But I'm a fan. I was butthurt when they said they may never bring it back again a year ago. I was like, this ain't right.
They do that on purpose, though. They do that to mess with you.
Certain things I'm a mark for. When the things you've kind of still real to me.
Yes.
It's still that a
They
little
take
bit.
it away from you for just long enough to make you want it.
Yeah.
Like if the blueberry pie doesn't come back this spring, we're gonna have a sad Mike Winters.
What if they could put? All right, I'm
Okay, hear me out.
If we could do this, put them out at the same time, so I could get a blueberry pie for dessert and a McRib for my meal.
You just got to plan accordingly. You're gonna have to hold on to one for a long time. buddy.
And that won't help. But even if you're not a McRib fan, they got you covered with great deals and things. Download that app, utilize it today.
Who is the they're launching a new meal. I can't think of his name. Is a basketball player last name Winter?
I do not know basketball.
Okay.
I'm not the guy to ask.
I'm not sure what the name of the meal is per se, but they're supposedly launching a new meal that comes with, and this is a lunch thing again, that comes with either a Big Mac or a 10-piece.
Okay.
And large fry, a drink, and then it comes with a McNugget Pal. So back in the day in the Happy Meals, they used to give out these little plastic like McNuggets that had they were dressed up like little characters.
Okay.
They're launching a special edition or a special run of McNugget Pals that the guy, I guess, specifically designed himself.
Oh.
I'll try to find the information.
Designer McNugget guys?
Yeah. They're supposedly new meal.
So they're like a collector's item.
Yes. It is. Go ahead and riff for a while.
Okay.
I'm gonna find it.
Big thank you to McDonald's. They provide us with breakfast each and every single Friday. Download the app, start earning rewards, and start getting free food. As soon as you order one thing, you start building rewards, and after like 2 visits, 3 visits, you've already earned enough rewards to procure free items. So definitely do that. And they can do McDelivery, curbside delivery, dine-in, whatever your preference is, they got you covered.
Here's the story. It's the Kerwin Frost Wow, I missed that. I was way off. Kerwin Frost Box. It's going to launch.
Well, you said Winter Frost. There's a connection.
It's going to launch December 11th. It is a 10-piece chicken nuggets or Big Mac. Comes with fries, soft drink, and a McNugget Buddy. And these McNugget Buddies were like specifically made for this thing. All new designs. Admittedly, one of them kind of looks like a pimp.
Oh,
like he's got a little top hat going on. He's got.
Now that I see those guys, I kind of remember
back in the day.
Was it 90s when those
It was the
things
90s,
were?
yeah. And like. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong on this one, the outfits were interchangeable. You could like take off their hats and change those out and stuff.
Barbie with chicken nuggets.
Hey, you shut up. They're action figures.
Chicken nugget Barbie.
My phone just now. I slammed it on.
Chicken nugget Barbie. Cool. Well,
yeah.
People love that. Get ready. It's going.
Right.
So, let me give you the rundown real quick. We need to get going here.
It's like Jim Bob Cold or something. I was way up on that name. All right, go ahead.
We're going to play our interview we had with the Roswell Police Officers Association. They joined us, Gino Baselli and Scott Wren, president and vice president of the association. And we've had a lot of sharing of this interview. They just came on and explained kind of what's going on with the Roswell Police Department and how you, the public, can help them out. So we're going to play that interview here in just a few. We got to get it going, though, so we can have time to play it. We are going to play our Crystal Noble interview with the Humane Society. She joined us yesterday. Got a big sale this weekend at the Humane Society for Christmas Decor, so we'll play that. And it is the first Friday of the month. Barbara Gomez, her scheduled visit to give us all the updates for this weekend's Celebrate Downtown Main Street Roswell event. So we'll do all that and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you into your weather. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll jump right into the interview on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit windy today, a few gusts at about 15 to 30 miles an hour. We have high pressure moving back in, so we should get sunshine and comfortable daytime highs right around 60. Overnight will be clear, low 30s, and then we'll stay in the low 60s for the high on Saturday. A little bit breezy, lots of sun, warming up a little bit on Sunday with sunshine, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter.
Fergalicious.
Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job.
Fergalicious.
Check out some of the bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Assorted 100-count boxes of Totino's pizza rolls are $8.98 each, and select varieties of Kellogg's breakfast cereals are $4.98 each. In produce, 2-pound bags of Halo's mandarins are $2.97 each, and 3-pound bags of russet potatoes are just 99 cents. In the meat department, family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are 88 cents a pound, and 5-pound bags of jumbo chicken drumsticks are 69 cents a pound. These are just some of the savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
As First American Bank celebrates our 120th anniversary, we recognize our employees that are united by their dedication to our customers by delivering unparalleled value and building long-term relationships based on trust and loyalty that only a local independent community bank can offer. First American Bank, your community bank since 1903. Member FDIC.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters. I don't know what the yellow pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Police Officers Association, we have Scott Baselli. I'm sorry, Gino Baselli and Scott Wren. I got him dyslexic there. Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today? Morning. Good deal. So you guys are president and I guess vice president, respectively. Which one's pres? Which one's? You're president. Pres and vice president. Okay. So let's first off, before we kind of get into everything, just talk about what the Roswell Police Officers Association is. Talk a little bit about what you guys do for, I'm going to guess, like a union or support group for law enforcement.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It's a union.
And kind of talk like what responsibilities, like what are the things that it's kind of the duties of the Police Officers Association.
So there's a few things we do. We negotiate for better benefits for the officers.
Gotcha.
We also represent during disciplinary hearings.
Gotcha. So kind of a lot of the, just basically like what a union does, protects looking out for, the people here. So let's talk a little bit about that. Is it a fight generally for you guys when it comes to negotiating time, or is it pretty, like, kind of give what the atmosphere is like when it comes to when you guys have to fight for benefits for officers?
Well, over the years, it's definitely changed. Depending on who's in the administration,
gotcha.
Comes and goes. But,
absolutely. Every time there's a new
Sure.
administration, there's going to be new policies in place. That's just what happens.
For the most part, it's pretty civil, especially with our administration. We work really well with each other. Now, when it comes to negotiating and money gets involved, that's obviously a little bit more difficult. So there's some challenges there, but generally, it's usually pretty civil.
Gotcha. Now, do you guys just represent the Roswell Police Department, or do you cover all law enforcement in the Roswell area as far as representative? How does that work as far as the union goes?
Yeah, no, just the police department.
Just the police department. So I guess each entity has their own basically union or
Correct. Yeah, each agency has their own union.
Gotcha.
And then normally we're represented by a larger association, which right now is the Fraternal Order of the Police.
I would imagine you all work in concert with each of the other officers associations, because I'm pretty sure you're all fighting for kind of the same things. Maybe different needs in different departments, but overall the mission's the same.
Yeah. We bounce ideas off each other, but we pretty much work independently.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's how I'm just kind of getting the feel of how that kind of works. If it's kind of like a, one bit, because you kind of look at like you look at other organizations like an American Legion or something. Yeah, they're all independent, but at the end of the day, they're all kind of an umbrella of one big thing.
Right. Yeah, it's similar, very similar.
Gotcha. Very good. Okay. So let me ask you, what's the challenges you guys face here at the RPD right now? Is everything kosher right now, or are we having some negotiating? Kind of give the lay of the land of what you guys are dealing with right now.
So our biggest challenge right now, and something that we're focusing heavily on, is retention. And It's not a new challenge. It's something that has been a problem within the police department for over a decade.
This is a global thing, or at least a country thing, right? I'm guessing the world we live in, and you're seeing the light that they're trying to paint officers in, especially a couple of years ago. I imagine that's a plight that every law enforcement agency in the country is dealing with right now, just because of the nature of the world we live in.
Yes and no. Roswell is unique. It's I've always called it a little city with big city problems.
Sure, that's true. You're right. We're the biggest little city. We're internationally known, but we have a town of roughly 50,000.
And kind of remote. We serve a pretty large population, for the size that we are.
Sure.
And the size of our department. I've been here for going on 13 years, and in the 13 years that I've been here, we've been fully staffed one day.
Wow. That's that's it. And let me ask you, obviously that's a big problem here, and obviously the city recruits, markets, tries to do all that stuff. But is it more than just doing that? What's the fix there to try to get for the retention? Is it making these benefits better, making the incentives for police officers to actually want to stay? Because let's face it, any human being, most people join law enforcement because they want to serve, and they're going to serve. But anytime, they're only going to do that so far until, because at the end of the day, I'm going to guess their priorities are themselves, their family, and that's what they want to take care of first. And if they can't do that here, they're going to go somewhere else and do that.
Yeah. Law enforcement is a calling. There's no doubt about it.
Sure.
And one thing I always say is nobody becomes a police officer to get rich.
Right.
You're not trying to fatten up your bank account, but there's a certain risk, right? In Roswell, a pretty serious risk that your officers take. And there's got to be compensation. There's got to be quality of life.
So are you guys losing basically other agencies because they're just paying better? Is that that really the problem you guys are running into
100%.
right now? It's like, hey, we try to dangle carrots, but our carrots aren't good enough because you're just not giving us the money or whatever, or investing the what we need to invest to maintain and keep our officers on our streets.
And just to give you an idea of how bad it is,
gotcha.
Over the last decade, we've hired over 200 officers. And right now we're sitting at about 94.
Wow.
We're slotted for 104. And so, and to bring that a little bit more recent, in the last 3 years, since January of 21, we've hired 43 officers. And so that just gives you a little bit of idea of how bad the retention is. And when you talk about solutions, I think money is the most obvious solution.
Sure.
The quality of life, the community would be the second.
Right.
Whether officers enjoy working where they live.
Sure.
And so that's kind of changed over time. Back 10, 12 years ago, we used to recruit heavily from Michigan, which both of us were recruited from Michigan.
Originally from Michigan, both of you guys.
And so we had a lot of people
So you
leaving.
Lions fans or...
It's hard to be, but yeah.
Yeah.
This
I'm a
year,
Commanders fan, dude. I've been doing 20 years of...
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I know you're paid.
Yeah.
But you're losing that well, basically?
Well, back when we were recruiting from Michigan, we would lose for a little bit different reasons. Because we would come from, it was a culture shock. We'd come down here and we would get our experience because the competition was so high in Michigan, and then we would want to go back.
Sure.
And some of us stayed. But now, things have changed, and we're hiring for more local candidates. And so that reason is really no longer there. It's mainly compensation right now. And all these other agencies in the surrounding areas are paying much better. State police just got a hefty raise, and they're asking for an additional 15%. And their goal is to start out between $38 and $48 an hour. And we're down around 20.
Wow, that's almost half.
Right. You can
insane.
go, to Hobby Lobby or Sam's Club and make almost the same amount of money after taxes as you can.
And let's face it, the role of a state police officer versus a Roswell police officer is a little. I'm not trying to compare danger to danger here, but the state police get involved in certain things. Roswell police, they're like, you're not going to generally see state police going to people's houses and things and doing stuff in the city. Very often, it's going to be a Roswell police officer doing that, and so
the workload is much different.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to point out. I'm not saying one's more dangerous than the other, but you're doing probably twice the workload as a Roswell police officer than you are as a state police officer.
Very conservatively, we actually have some stats on that, and Scott will tell you. But we're a very, very busy department.
So somebody that comes and says, "I want to get in law enforcement," oh wait, less danger, less workload, more money. Or
exactly,
and a lot of people, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out maybe I should go the way with more money and less work.
Right, I could work over here and make a couple traffic stops.
Absolutely,
and make $10 an hour or more.
Yeah, it basically, you guys are already you're already on third down where everyone else is playing them from first down. You know what I mean? That's kind of where that puts you guys. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. We all know human nature and especially if the work environment, as far as, I'm sure that they have camaraderie and great group of people in the state police too. And so if the office environment is the same, then you're going to go with the guy with the money and the less, more benefits, less commitment.
Better equipment, better training.
Yeah. And you bring up another good point about that is, we are a much busier department, and with the high turnover, most of our patrol officers have less than 2 years experience. So it's a big disservice to not try to keep these officers to gain experience and further training.
Well, that's what makes better police officers. I mean, yes, you guys go to the academy, and there's a lot before they, in essence, put you on your own, so to speak.
It's generally about a year to 18 months before, from date of hire to the date that they're released on their own.
Sure.
In their patrol car, responding to calls independently.
So they get ample training, but still, you can't replicate even in the best of training environments what an officer sees on a daily basis.
Experience trumps all.
Yeah, that's what. So the officer that's got 2 years of experience, that's going to help a little bit. But the officer that's got 10 years of experience is probably going to be a little bit more educated on what's going on in an environment and be able to handle a little bit better because, well, experience, it's practice. You know what? Joe Montana didn't become Joe Montana from sitting on a couch and then suddenly said, I want to be a quarterback one day. It's hours and hours of doing it.
The general rule of thumb is about 5 years of experience for your average officer before they can comfortably get thrown into a situation and be able to handle it really well.
And that's why officers, like when you come on a scene and there's something going on, and usually more than one officer, because especially if it's a newer officer, you're going to make sure, hey, let's get the experience to back them up and make sure everything goes the way it's going to go. That's in essence why you always see if there's an incident that, there's several officers rolling up. It's to back each other up and to, again, some of that's mentoring the younger and showing them, okay, we're on a murder scene here. This is kind of, because hopefully, the ideal thing is you don't want your officer seeing a lot of those kind of things because then things are bad. But
and as a citizen listening, it doesn't matter what kind of call is. You're going to want an experienced officer, whether your car got broken into.
Absolutely.
When you need someone to come out and investigate that, or your neighbors, your neighbors are fighting, or whatever the case is, you got into a traffic accident, you want an experienced officer that's going to come and handle things properly.
Absolutely.
And if we don't do something to keep the officers here in our communities, rather than training them to go serve other communities, you're going to keep getting a turnover of inexperienced officers.
And that's probably the biggest bite is you'll send all these people to the academy, like you said, they're in for a year, and then the carrot gets dangled and they go elsewhere. That's
right. So we just spend all this time and money to train them, and then they
and to be honest, the other department gets the win-win because they didn't spend all the money.
Exactly.
Sending the academy, getting them ready to become a full-fledged officer.
Absolutely.
And now we're left holding the bag. We just spent.
Right.
I'm going to get just ballpark. What does it cost on average to train an officer?
For the first year, from date of hire until they've reached 1 year of service, which is going to include, obviously their salary for the entire year and benefits and the cost to get them through the academy and equipment, I've been told about $100,000.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Right. And so on paper, we may look
that's
like,
per
okay, we've
officer,
got some,
by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on paper, it may look like, okay, we're not doing too bad. We've got people filling the boots. But if we're constantly turning over and getting inexperienced officers,
they don't get a chance to
it's not the same.
To season, to get better, to become, the soup's got to sit on the pot in the stove a little bit longer. You got to let it, give. That's why soup's better the second. It's the same philosophy here. It really is, and simplifying it down a little bit. But yeah, the officers need that, and now they got the 1 year of experience, and now they're going to go and if that's the trend, then you're never going to get ahead. And I'm going to guess that's probably why, like you said, in 13 years of your experience, you've never seen the department fully staffed.
One day.
Or one day. Yeah,
one
for
day.
1 day in 13 years. That's insane.
Yep.
So
and most people know generally how a police department is comprised, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got your chief, and then it goes all the way down to your rookies, your new hires. Patrol is the heart and soul of every police department.
Sure.
Sheriff's office, state police, it doesn't matter. Patrol is the largest division at the police department.
That's where most of your soldiers are, basically.
Those are the first responders. Those are the ones that are going to all the 911 calls. Right now we have in the mid-30s, I think it's 33 to 35 officers on patrol. Of those 33 officers, we have 3 different shifts, days, swings, and mids. Covers the 24 hours. And we have about 5 officers on each shift on average every day. So 15 to 17 officers in a 24-hour period. And just from January to October of this year, we've responded to over 42,000 calls for service.
Well, and I mean, I'm just hearing these numbers, and I'm not an expert on what it takes and all that, but to basically have 17 officers protecting a town of 50,000 on a given day doesn't seem enough to me.
And that's about 5 at once, right? Not 17 all
right.
All
That's in a 24-hour period.
Exactly.
But and right now, there's probably a half dozen police officers
or less,
or less, on the streets doing their job right now. That sounds scary to me.
It's call to call to call to call, and the calls stack up. Right. We got pending calls.
Right.
So you got fatigue that sets in too for these 5 officers that are working, right? They're going call to call to call, and inevitably it drops the quality of the service that the people are getting from police officers that are worn out.
And then
Well, and then on top of that, the morale has decreased drastically.
Well, absolutely. If they're going to be doing this day in and day out, they're like, screw this, I'm going to the next department.
Exactly, especially when you're told that there is going to be no step increase.
Yeah.
And your COLA was presented at 1%.
There's no light at the end of the tunnel for them either, Yeah, you're right. That's and to be honest, I'm going to guess that's where most, like when you got the young officers that, they expect in 10 years, I'm going to be paying more money. I'm going to have a few more stripes on my sleeve. I may be, specialized in something else or a detective or something. They hope to be higher than they were year one out of the academy. And if there's no real incentive to do that, then why should they stay here? And that's, to me, it's really setting the table for failure. So just to get back to numbers real quick, in you guys' opinion, what would be the ideal number of officers for this town to adequately, I mean, not even luxury. I'm not talking like, just like to be efficient at the job. How many officers do you think they should be having on the streets at any given time in this town?
For each shift?
In your opinion, yeah.
8. We have 6 districts that we cover in Roswell. We split the city up, right?
Gotcha.
Adam through Frank is what we label them.
Okay.
Minimum staffing should be 1 officer per district.
Okay.
And then obviously you have a supervisor, a sergeant for every shift. If you had 8, you'd be able to cover all 6 of those districts and then have 2 ranger officers that are kind of roaming around assisting the other officers if one district is busier than the other.
So you're probably guessing on a given day we're 40 to 60% overstaffed on every shift.
Yes.
Just ballparking here. I'm not giving exact numbers.
And of those numbers, we already talked about 60% or more of them have less than 2 years of experience. And that's 2 years of experience from the date of hire.
Sure.
So the first year, 18 months,
which
we're
means
talking
it
maybe
stretches
6 months of street
sergeants
experience.
and your leaders, quote unquote, stretches them thin because guess what? When there's an instance and you have inexperience there and you need someone to kind of, help navigate through that, it's the sergeants that are rolling up to take care of these things. And if there, if there's 2 situations going on at a given time where both need assistance, we can't split the sergeant in half. What are we going to do?
We're not omnipresent.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're just trying to paint a picture here and give reality here. I mean, you're going to hear, and I get it, politicians, they've got budgets they got to do and they've got to balance and all that. But what we're saying is we can balance the budget, but we need to invest more time, energy, and money into our law enforcement or we're going to be in trouble because we're losing it quickly. And we've been on a steady decline, and it's going to get nothing but worse, especially as other departments locally and other agencies locally step up their game. That's going to put the Roswell Police Department in a complete and utter hole, and in God forbid, in unable to do the job.
Right. Yeah. By the week, we're losing more and more people, and we understand that there are budgets that need to be followed.
Sure.
And we're not demanding, this astronomical number immediately.
Right.
But what we are presenting is that there is a retention problem, and we're trying to make that as obvious as possible.
Sure.
And bring awareness to it so it can be budgeted in for next year.
Sure.
It needs to be made a priority.
Kind of talk like just a little bit. I know we're kind of talking philosophy here, but as the officers agency, like what would be like nuts and bolts, concrete, the first 1 or 2 things you'd like to see them do like today to fix it up?
Well, the cost of living increased by 8.7% reported by
the raise
the Labor
would be
Board
the
of
big
Statistics. Right.
First thing.
They gave us 1%.
Wow.
1%. And the COLA, or I'm sorry, the step increase, we have a compensation plan that's 20 steps.
Okay.
So at the end of every year, beginning of every year, that December, January timeframe, we receive a 2% increase.
Okay.
Not much, but it happens every year. And that was taken away this year as well.
Well, and then the cost of living's gone up crazy over the last couple of years here. With
It has.
I mean, go buy a Happy Meal. See how much that costs you.
Right. So our paychecks may not literally be less, but they're worth less, right?
Sure.
Because now our buying power is less.
Yeah. And I would imagine you're finding Roswell police officers are struggling to find homes to live and or to rent or places to live because, quite frankly, they can't afford it. Unless they're pulling in 2 incomes, they got a spouse that's pulling in a decent income. It's probably hard for a Roswell police officer, especially right out of the academy, to get a place to live.
It is pretty tough. And recently I've heard that there are officers that are actually really struggling.
Wow.
Like overdrawing with counts, maxed out credit cards, trying to maintain food on the table for their
Hey, can I ask you a quick,
children.
and it's related but not related. Is there a place where the public can help some of these officers? Is there a fund or something that people can donate to help out?
Yeah, we have a separate. So the Roswell Police Officers Association has a separate, entity called the Roswell Police Officers Assistance Fund, and with that, we use that for representation for certain things.
Gotcha.
And that's what we do to fundraise.
I imagine
for
you spend a
officers
lot
in
in
need.
legal fees for defending officers, more than you should have to. But it also probably falls in that if they do come in financial, where they need some financial assistance at home, then this is where they.
That's what
turn
that's
to.
for.
It's a good deal.
I had a battery go out on my van a couple of years ago, and it was between paychecks. So I called up to the president at the time, and they wrote a check for $200 so I could replace the battery.
I'm glad that happened, but I hate to say this. It's sad that a man of, I'm going to just cut it in half, say 6 years on the force at the time, can't afford a battery between paychecks. That's
the struggle is
that
real.
shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Right. These are careers. These aren't summer jobs that they're, you know what I mean? They're going back to school. These are men and women that are supporting families with this stuff. And you've got to make it to where they, especially for the work you're asking for them. I mean, let's face it.
I've been a one-income household for 13 years. I got 3 daughters and a wife who stays at home and takes care of the family, and it is extremely difficult
I would imagine
to make
it's
ends
next
meet.
to impossible. You're probably getting very creative in ways to make the ends meet here sometimes.
The good Lord always provides, but
yeah,
it's a struggle day to day for sure.
So please, is there like a website that folks can go to donate, or to help, or a Facebook page or something?
Yeah, Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay.
Roswell Police Officers Association on Facebook.
Very good. Look that up, like and follow it, and then if you have it in your hearts, it is the season of giving here. Let's see if we can, while we're all helping and collecting food and clothing items for our less fortunate, let's also remember our police officers and see if we can.
Well, I think the main thing,
because their expenses are going to get just as big, or they got Christmas just like everybody else got Christmas.
Well, for a chance to get something out of that, we have a raffle going on, and we're halfway through it. But we have two drawings left that include 6 different guns and about 3 different gift cards.
Nice
left. So if you're interested in a raffle ticket, you can also reach out to us on Facebook.
Gun raffles are arguably the most popular thing in this part of the country, and I'm just going to go on a limb. Law enforcement people are probably pretty good at picking guns. Just saying, they know what they're talking about here. So I'm going to guess those guns are probably top shelf good guns. Just a hunch.
And just to be clear, I mean, the purpose of us having this conversation, we love the support from the community. Financial support would be incredible.
Sure.
But the main reason that
you
want to
make sure that the city's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
We want to hold our city officials accountable.
Sure.
We want the public to come in and require and ask that they take care of the public servants,
Absolutely.
not just police officers. Fire departments experiencing the same issues. Blue collar workers are experiencing the same issues.
So really, the public is reach out to your city councilors, the people that represent you, and ask the questions. Ask them, make them ask the questions at city council.
This 1% COLA is not just for the police department. It was citywide.
Yeah,
it was citywide.
And I understand there's budgets, there's things, but back to your point at the beginning, Scott, was that we're on an island. We're a town that of 50,000 that have amenities that no town of this size normally has. The airport, the jail, the waste. I mean, we really run like a city much bigger than what we actually are, just because of location and the notoriety of being Roswell. That just attracts more people than Podunk, Georgia, or wherever.
Per capita, compared to Albuquerque, we're one of the most violent cities in the state of New Mexico.
Which blows me away too. That's and
it's very isolated. Your average citizen might not even realize how violent it is. It's really isolated to different pockets, and a small percentage of the population causing 90% of the issues in the city.
Yeah, and that's kind of it's. You're right in the fact that there's parts of this town, and then, like you said, most people don't even see it, but there's parts of this town that you go into that you're like, wow, am I still in Roswell, or is this Beirut? You know what I mean? It really does, where like you said, and that's where, and again, if all your officers are concentrated there, what happens when something at a different end of town happens? And
we get complaints about traffic complaints.
Yeah.
Vagrants walking around causing issues. Your officers are tied up in other parts of the city, and they're not able to respond to those things.
And I'm guessing with the influx of the homeless population and all the other variables that are going on right now, that again, more strain on the department here.
It falls on us. Yeah.
And so that's what we're talking about here. So please, reach out to your city councilors. This is the kind of stuff, make that known to the people that represent you, and make them have these conversations in our city council meeting and make them find a way. I know you guys are probably there every meeting, lobbying and doing trying what you can for the officers you represent. Sometimes the public voice added to that will carry a lot more weight.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, that's the most beneficial thing you can do is call your city councilor and ask them what they're doing to solve the retention problem at the Roswell Police Department.
But in the meantime, if people want to get nuts and bolts, want to help, please reach out. Go to the Police Officer Association Facebook page, and if you make a donation or something, that would be, because even if we get them overnight to do this, it's not going to fix these needs for these folks right now. So let's try to help them out too. So that's the thing. So she was curious. Is how big is the association? Is it just the officer? I mean, how do you have a bunch of officers, soldiers that go out and do stuff, or how? I'm just getting an idea of your footprint.
We've got a good membership. So the association is sergeants and down, sergeants, detectives, and officers.
Okay. So you have to have some experience in law enforcement before you can be part of it?
No.
Okay.
Not quite.
Okay.
It's the bargaining unit includes officers, detectives, and sergeants, detectives, and officers.
Okay.
So above that sergeant level, you're excluded from the bargaining unit.
Okay.
Lieutenants and up are
Gotcha.
not in the bargaining unit.
Okay.
They still reap the benefits of the negotiations.
Gotcha.
When things are negotiated for, it still affects them, but they're
they
not
kind
a
of
part
have
of
a foot in both worlds, so it's kind of best to leave them out of the conversation. Makes sense.
Right.
Yep. You want the soldiers, the ones that are that makes sense. So it's like you don't want the fresh out because you want the experience to represent. But again, when you get higher up in management, you start riding that foot in both worlds.
Yep,
so
exactly.
You got to play a little Switzerland here, and can't. You can't pick a side sometimes in that. So you leave them out of that equation so they don't have to. That's probably a good thing. But I was just kind of curious. I didn't know if it was like a thing where you have like meetings every week or monthly or whatever.
We're pretty organized. Yeah.
Good deal. Excellent. How many officers are part of the association right now? Just
between 40 and 50. Depending on the week of
about half the department.
It was probably bigger in days when there was more officers.
Well, I would probably say 90% of the eligible officers to be part of the union are part of the union.
Which
There's
makes
very
sense.
few that don't.
Well, and I'm gonna guess, just taking a stab here, that some of these folks feel like they're not supported, and so they're gonna, hey, I need some support here. This is the one entity that's got my back right now.
Yep.
So I imagine that's a strong selling point for them here. We'd like to get to a point where you guys you can focus more on cookouts and things like that instead of making sure people get paid and make sure they have the
barely keeping our head above water.
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Here too. I do want to. I know we talk mostly about money and stuff, but I do want to real quickly just kind of equipment needs, things like that. Like is that also an issue where there's not enough? I mean, not vehicles today, but just the gear, the stuff you need, the things you need that you might not use all the time, but an emergency hits, you're going to need it pretty quick.
Gear is very expensive.
Yeah. I mean, is that something that?
So when you get hired, you get outfitted with all of your basic needs, right? Ballistic vests, tasers, radios, vehicles, all that stuff. As soon as you get all that stuff, after 18 months, you get a uniform allowance.
Okay, very similar to the military.
Very similar.
Okay.
Yeah. So officers are expected to keep up their own equipment, short of your vehicle. The vehicle is provided by the city.
Okay.
But all of the uniforms, maintenance, all that stuff, boots, everything.
What about like your firearms and mace and taser, all that kind of stuff?
All that stuff is provided by the police department.
Okay, I didn't know
you
they
have
were
the
on you
option
for
to
that,
purchase
too.
your own sidearm if you want to, and a lot of officers do.
Sure.
Because
personal preference.
There's better equipment that you can pay for out of pocket. But the uniform allowance that we get is $850 a year split into 6 months.
Okay.
So $425 twice a year. And just as an example, I just bought a new belt and replaced my entire uniform, and it was just over $1,000.
I'm going to guess, because of the nature of your job, you guys go through a lot of uniforms and things like
We
that.
beat our stuff up. Yeah.
Anytime there's a scuffle or something, the odds are there's probably something ruined that you got to replace. And I'm
Come to work
guess,
clean, go home dirty.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing shooting a given week, you could probably go through your whole uniforms if you had a rough week there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, you initially you get provided a couple uniforms, but then it's on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay for those. And yes, we do get a clothing allowance, but these pants that we're required to wear are upwards of $80 a piece.
As a person who was in the military and had the same situation, I know exactly what you're talking about. It sounds on paper good, but when it comes to actually buying the things you need, it's not much. It may not cover what you're really needing here. So, especially if you've got to do a purchase that is kind of every couple of year thing, like maybe boots or something that, in essence, are supposed to last a little longer. They don't in that world, and like you said, it's $80, $100 more than if you just went down to the store and just bought a shirt or bought a pair of pants or boots or something like that. So, things to remember about this stuff, and that's and you don't think about it, but police officers are kind of like teachers in that way. Where teachers, my wife's a teacher. Where sure they give you a classroom, but all that stuff in there, that's the teachers buying that stuff. Yeah. They don't get a stipend per se from the school district to do all that stuff. They'll give them a little money here to buy a machine or something, but when it comes to all the boards and all that stuff, my wife spends $100 every year doing it.
If you want a quality environment, it's coming out of your pocket.
Yeah. Similar situation, servants of the public and not always getting what they really truly deserve here. And that's what I think here is we're not even talking like, we want Grey Poupon in every vehicle. We're not talking about that here. We're talking about, look, we can't keep officers in the police department because we're not paying them enough. We're not giving them the resources to do that. And so this is again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but just stress that importance. If this is something that you, the public, are like, your neighborhoods and there's all this crime. You need to reach out to your city councilors. I always say write, but I know we live in a modern world. Email.
You can email.
Do something. You don't have to put a stamp on anything. But please, put this on their radar. Make sure that they hear about this stuff. This is the exact stuff that you elected a city councilor for to represent your opinions on this. And so you need to let them know you want the city to take care of law enforcement better than they're doing it now.
And if you don't know who to call, go to our Facebook page, Roswell Police Officers Association. And we're going to be putting out a map that'll make it easy with contact information so you can look up who you should call.
Good deal. In case you don't know who your
exactly
city councilor is. You got 2 of them, by the way. So reach out to both of them. So each ward has 2. So don't hesitate. Good deal. Is there anything you guys wanted to mention that we spaced out or skipped over that we wanted to get out there? Or did we pretty much cover it?
I think we definitely covered it.
I think we covered all the
bases.
Deal.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. Well, thank you for your service. First off,
yes, sir.
Thank you.
I know every day is a new adventure for you guys, and we appreciate what you do, and especially the fact that they're not really meeting your needs at the moment. So, and then the fact that you continue to be here, because quite frankly, guys like you are probably the reason why some of the people are still here. You know what I mean? Like there's probably some young folks that are disheveled or just not happy with it going on here, and they're ready to move, and they're probably talking to some vets like you and saying, hey, stick around. We're going to get through this. Don't bail on us yet. So,
that's absolutely right. That's happening every day.
You and guys like you are the ones that are keeping what we got left. So
we're trying. Yeah,
well, thank you.
We're doing
guys.
our best.
We do appreciate that. So thanks you guys, and stay safe. And anytime you guys need a platform for anything, just reach out. We'll be happy to help out.
That sounds great.
Good deal.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, it is 8:51. Let's pause for news. A Cowboys report. We got time, Cowboys fans. There's a lot of you.
History. The ordinance creates a new historic preservation board. The move would also allow the city to earn a certified local government designation, which encourages preservation of cultural resources and promotes partnerships among local governments, the state, and the National Park Service. The advisory board will make recommendations to the City of Carlsbad Planning and Zoning Commission and also to the Carlsbad City Council on proposed historic designations and projects that affect historic properties around the city. 2 more companies will get state economic assistance for manufacturing and job creation, according to the New Mexico Economic Development Department. The Borderplex in Santa Teresa will see Coast Aluminum and Monty Incorporated bring new jobs to New Mexico. In a prepared statement, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said, investing in New Mexico's international border to improve infrastructure and expand global trade is one of her top priorities. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Now that the week-long Gaza ceasefire is over, Israel is again pursuing its goal of destroying Hamas. After terrorist rockets landed in Israel, the Israelis are again bombing targets in Gaza. And Secretary of State Blinken is urging the Israelis to do more to protect Palestinian civilians.
It must put in place humanitarian civilian protection plans that minimize further casualties of innocent Palestinians. That means taking more effective steps to protect the lives of civilians, including by clearly and precisely designating areas and places in southern and central Gaza where they can be safe and out of the line of fire.
But Hamas is known for using civilians as human shields, planting its terrorist bases among them. During the truce, Israel released about 240 Palestinian prisoners. Hamas freed around 100 captives. Approximately 140 civilian hostages continue to be held by Hamas. George Santos may get the boot today, the defiant New York congressman on the verge of being kicked out of Congress.
If I leave, they win. If I leave, the bullies take place. This is bullying.
The House Ethics Panel accuses Santos of financial improprieties, and he has been indicted on charges of wire fraud and stealing from donors. The GOP lawmaker, though, denies any wrongdoing. Off the southern coast of Japan, the search goes on following the deadly crash of a U.S. military Osprey tilt-rotor aircraft. One crew member was killed, 7 others still missing. Japanese Coast Guard and military vessels have been using sonar to conduct an undersea search. Looking to prop up sagging oil prices, OPEC and friends have agreed to cut crude output by 2 million barrels per day, that starting in January. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 57 points, the NASDAQ down 42. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Today.
Brazil is dispatching military reinforcements to its northern border amid growing friction between neighbors Venezuela and Guyana.
Brazil's defense minister, José Múcio, said his country was sending a further 60 soldiers to the border town of Pacaraima, almost doubling its deployment there. The Ministry of Defense said it wanted to avoid any transit of Venezuelan soldiers through Brazilian territory. Brazilian media reports say there are concerns the Venezuelan military could invade Essequibo following Sunday's referendum result. Guyana's government has called for Caracas to cancel the referendum, saying it poses an existential threat to the former British territory. But President Nicolás Maduro says it will bolster Venezuela's historical claims to the region.
The BBC's Warren Bull. The Russian Supreme Court effectively outlawing LGBTQ activism, ruling that the movement is an extremist organization and banning it. News and analysis, townhall.com. Instead of the current 2 hours, the FAA will require new jetliner cockpit voice recorders to log 25 hours of audio.
The cockpit voice recorder is one of the 2 so-called black boxes that capture data that is used to investigate crashes and close calls. In one case in January, an American Airlines plane crossed an active runway at New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport without permission from air traffic controllers, forcing a Delta Airlines flight to abort a takeoff and brake to a stop. Investigators, however, were unable to hear what the American pilots were doing because they took off for London and the recorder taped over all the cockpit sounds after 2 hours. Regulators in Europe already require the 25-hour recording for new planes over a certain weight. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Montana's first-in-the-nation ban on TikTok has been blocked by a judge who says it's unconstitutional. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday. Welcome to it. Hope your Friday's going well. I know, a little chilly out there, but it's supposed to get like sunny and 60 today, so you'll be stripping some of the layers of clothing off as the day progresses here. But happy Friday. Busy Friday. We got, of course, the Celebrate Downtown holiday weekend with Main Street Roswell. That kicks off officially, I guess you could say, at noon today. And that'll go all day today with Santa coming into town later this evening. The lighting of the Christmas tree tonight. They're going to have caroling and music and shopping and food and fun and all kind of stuff all day. Tomorrow it starts at 10 a.m. They're going to have the light parade tomorrow evening. And then, of course, they're going to follow that up about 7 with a free movie, Muppets Christmas, on the courthouse lawn. All day today, tomorrow, lots of fun there. And then, don't forget tonight, Wool Bowl, the Excel Energy 2023 Wool Bowl happening tonight at the Wool Bowl. Hence the reason it's called the Wool Bowl. And that game will kick off at 6 p.m. Festivities start at 3 p.m. with food trucks and tailgating. And then the Will Bannister concert will be in there. I think it kicks off around 4. And then kickoff will be at 6 o'clock. Get your tickets still, woolbowl.net, or show up with $5 and you get into the game. And it's really, you cannot beat the price for all that they've got going on for $5. I mean, the concert, the game, the whole experience is going to be a lot of fun.
We're talking Savannah Banana levels of value.
There you go. Exactly. But some people are like, what?
Huh?
Look it up.
Look it up, yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. If you cannot make it to the Wool Bowl, we will have it on the radio here and at ksvptv.com. But if you're here local, be at the Wool Bowl.
Be at the Wool Bowl.
We want to, out-of-town friends and family, our NMMI alum that live in other parts of the world, they're going to want to enjoy the video stuff. But you folks here in town, you just got to go right up the street to the Wool Bowl and have an awesome fun. And like I said, the weather should be nice later today. Should be really good. I know it's a little chilly now, but it's going to be like 62. It's December 1st. Yeah. I mean, come on.
It's going to be a good day. Grab yourself a blanket, grab yourself something that'll keep you warm out there if you're going to head out to the Wool Bowl. But otherwise, get to ksvptv.com. Don't miss it.
Wear your Broncos swag.
That's
Sweatshirts, hoodies, all that. You'll be good. So, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Get out there. But we will have coverage here on the radio and video at ksvptv.com.
Indeed.
Yeah. Got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's.
Yes.
Each and every Friday, they provide us with delicious breakfast treats. I haven't had any food today, but that tea's going down smooth. So.
I had Jocelyn get me just a bacon and cheese biscuit, no egg. Going.
How'd that go?
It was nice.
Little meat and cheese,
little
bread.
meat, cheese, little bread. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes less is more.
That's it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Throw an egg on there, I'll be happy to. But you know what I think I'd want to try? Is get the egg McMuffin egg with the bacon and cheese on a biscuit sandwich.
So like the cracked egg.
Yeah, not the yellow scrambled egg.
Yeah, not the folded egg, the fresh cracked.
Yes.
I think you can do that. I'm pretty sure you
I
could.
just never have tried it. I think it's one of these days I need to say, hey, slap me one of them egg McMuffin eggs on the biscuit sandwich with the.
Yeah. That actually, I don't know. I never really thought about it because a folded egg is basically the scrambled version,
right?
But the fresh cracked is you get basically the
it's like a hard
over hard egg,
over hard fried egg kind of thing. Yeah. I think I'd kind of dig it.
Maybe. I'm not super into a hard yolk, like into a hard.
You need the
hard
cheese.
fried egg.
The cheese
that would probably do it.
It puts it together. The cheese is the bonding of all of those ingredients to make it just chef's kiss.
I like that. I like that.
So, but big thank you to McDonald's. It is McRib season, so
yes.
if you're a McRibite, I'm going to go with that. Spread the word, McRibite.
McRibite.
Yeah, if you're a McRibite, then or McRibbon. That sounds kind of fun.
Just remember, get yours now before it leaves town or before it heads out to grab a pack of smokes.
I just can't leave you. That's what I feel like. I just can't leave you, McRib.
Even though you do me dirty every time, I just can't give it up.
But big thank you to
McDonald's. That is a testament to how good that sandwich is. It comes around every now and again. It's like, yeah, I'll grace you with my presence. You're like, ooh, please.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? Absolutely.
Sauce dripping down your lip.
I am a lemming when it comes to the McRib. But you too can do this. So if you're like me, 'tis your season. Order up here about 10:30 when they switch over to the lunch menu.
Get him right then, right at 10:30. That fresh off the line, perfect McRib.
And here's my experience so far, because it is McRib season. They like if you don't have a lot of time and you just like want to get in, get out quick. Quarter pounder cheese is great, but they make it fresh to order,
right.
so they might put you at a color or make you wait a few minutes because while they prepare you food.
Right.
But since the McRib is more popular, they got probably like them on the griddle ready to go. And so I've found that if I just order McRibs, I don't even have to go like park. I just how you doing? Here's your beverage. Here's your McRibs. Thank you. See you next time.
Do you notice what he did there? He said, here's your drink. Here's your McRibs.
Yeah.
Just making sure you got that. Here's your McRibs.
That guy
plural.
problem.
So now I'm just picturing a happy boy with like a beverage in between the legs and one sandwich in his hand.
I got 2 hands, room for 2 McRibs.
So my dad gave me 2 hands for 2 McRibs. Yeah, you know what? Sound logic. Checks out.
That's why they put a straw in the cup. Leave it on a flat surface. McRibbon lefty and righty. And when I'm ready for a swill, there it goes.
Perfect.
Back to a McRibbon. And by the way, you eat both simultaneously. One bite here, one bite there. Because I'm a feng shui guy. I want it even.
Betty Crocker actually created something perfect for this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you seen those? It's like a pot gripper.
Okay.
You've seen it? It looks like a little clam hand.
Yeah.
All you got to do, flip that bad boy over, okay? You put your McRib in one side. You put your drink in the other side.
Oh, yeah.
They can double fist it.
That's right.
Or double it up in one hand.
It's like an extra hand.
It is. Grab another one for
a
more for
hands?
a 10-piece nugget over here and then some fries.
More hands mean more McRibs.
Bam! Look at that. You got 2 holders and a full meal for basically 2 people.
Yeah. I'm going to officially change my name, my hands names from hands to McRib holders.
Put it right here in the McRib holder. How you doing,
right.
Mike Winters?
Come on, bring that McRib holder in for a big shake.
This is completely off topic, but I was just reminded of it when I did that. I have found the way that someone comes in for a handshake is almost directly in correlation to how, like, overly confident they are as a person. You ever had somebody do one of these things to you?
Yeah.
Where they go like, hey, put her here. You know, like complete down hand. It's like, that's not how you shake hands unless you're a woman. I kind of want to walk up and grab the hand and just.
These are the same people that hold guns gangster style.
Right. How you doing, Sean?
Think it like it's more intimidating.
But now I want to like come up with a new way to come in. Like, hey, how you doing, Sean Smalls? Put her here. How?
You want to mess with people? Just throw out your left hand instead of your right and see what they do.
How you doing, Sean Smalls?
Now, in the scouting circle, if you're in scouts, that's how it rolls. They're all shake left-handed. But in the real world, people are like, what is going on over here? But anyway, we do need to get the interview going, so I better shut my my McRib hole.
Change the name Eyes to McRib.
All right, we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. She joined us yesterday. This Saturday, beginning tomorrow at 10 a.m., the thrift store is having a huge Christmas sale, 25% off everything Christmas. And that's already on top of the deeply discounted prices. So if you're looking for Christmas decor, like Christmas trees, artificial trees, they practically have brand new ones over there. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for one, get one for like $20, $30. And that's what I'm saying. They got more money for Christmas. But anyway, we'll get the update from Crystal here on Pets Available for Adoption and sale going on there. We'll do that in a few minutes. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit windy today, a few gusts at about 15 to 30 miles an hour. We have high pressure moving back in, so we should get sunshine and comfortable daytime highs right around 60. Overnight will be clear, low 30s, and then we'll stay in the low 60s for the high on Saturday. A little bit breezy, lots of sun, warming up a little bit on Sunday with sunshine, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today, 62 for a high. Winds will be out of the west at the west early, then shifting to the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 35. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10. So some light jackets and hoodies and things probably more appropriate for football tonight, or if you're going to be hanging out in the Main Street corridor doing all the Christmas festivity. For you Saturday, sunny skies, highs near 60, winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 in the morning. Winds will increase 15 to 20 miles per hour for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 32 degrees, west winds 5 to 15. So bundle up if you're going to go see the free movie as part of the Main Street Roswell event this weekend, Saturday night's Muppet Christmas movie. Might want to bring a jacket, some blankets to bundle up for that. That'd be fun. And then Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies, a high of 66, west winds 5 to 10, early 10 to 15 for the afternoon, mostly clear Sunday night, overnight low of 35. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, sunny skies and warm with a high of 68, pushing 70 on Monday. So not too shabby for the first week of December. All right, 8:17, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia, Friday, December 1st. Don't miss Sons of the Pioneers. Friday, December 1st, 7 p.m. at the Ocotillo in Artesia. Tickets and more info at artesiaartscouncil.com.
Cool water, clear water.
Sons of the Pioneers, Friday, December 1st at the Ocotillo in Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a rotten egg smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a rotten egg smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately and from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
It's back and bigger.
It's going to be intercepted.
And even better.
And has Beeman open. And he caught it. And there's a dump pass for another touchdown.
And good morning. The XL Energy Wool Bowl is
19
back Friday, December 1st in Roswell, New Mexico. New Mexico's only college football bowl game below I-40. Food trucks, kids zone, pregame concert with Will Bannister. Purchase tickets now for only $5 at woolbowl.net.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
Now officially in studio, Crystal. And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. Joining us now officially in studio, Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. So I miss it wasn't cleaning supplies, litter, cat food. That's what they're looking for right now. So you can make some donations there.
Cat litter, kitten chow, and puppy chow.
So if you've got some of that, they'll still take it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cat litter is probably going to be the higher demand right now.
Okay.
Just because we use more of it versus the food, they get their...
Sure. They poop more than they eat.
Yeah. Yeah. This little bit comes out and that much, or this little bit goes in, that much comes out.
Right.
So.
They turn it into something bigger. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But either way, but here's the thing. Don't get all high fancy with the litter. Buy the cheap stuff.
You can go to the Dollar Tree and get literally the Dollar Tree clay cat litter, and that is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
because we throw it away every single day. We don't scoop it, and if a cat makes a very stinky mess, we throw that entire box away, and then they get a fresh box.
So don't spend on the clumping litter or the type that tells you what they ate for lunch or whatever. Now they got those pee ones that can analyze their pee and all. Don't do all that.
Yeah, we don't need anything fancy.
Get the dollar bag of cat litter, and because it, like you said, it's just they because of the sanitation and cleanliness, they don't keep permanent litter boxes. They just use little like old Coke boxes. And
no, we actually Farmers on Hobbs, Quality and Variety, they save the cardboard flats that beer and Cokes come in.
Okay, and that's what you use.
And so we use that as litter boxes.
Back in the day, that was the old school method. Like now they got more fancier plastic jobbers.
Oh, yeah. And we do have like plastic litter boxes for some cats that, need a higher side.
But that's not the norm.
No, our norm is the cardboard boxes because when we change them every single day for cleaning, all of that gets thrown away.
It's disposed of rather than create, because we're dealing with, all kinds of diseases and things, and even the best scrubbing of some of these is going to leave that exposed. And when you have a community of cats together, the community shares things, including sickness. And so,
unfortunately,
and one way to transfer that is through the litter boxes. So they don't keep them around.
No, and like the cheap clay cat litter, if you have even 20 pounds at home that you're not using because you got it for oil spills or something, anything helps.
We'll take it. Absolutely. Yeah, please.
Because we use it so much, so often, and the normal place where we try to order cat litter from has not been able to get it because it's been out of stock.
Ah, okay.
So unavailable to them to order.
So if you pick next time you go to whatever store you go to pick up your supplies, grab a few extra of those bags. Like I said, don't get the expensive. Just grab the big, cheap, looks like a cement bag for a buck or two.
Yeah,
grab that sucker.
I think at Walmart the special kitty clay cat litter is like $3.50 for like a 25 or 50 pound bag.
Yeah, grab one or two of those if you can, and drop them off at the Humane Society. That'd be a great thing, and it would, trust me, it'll get used very quickly. Don't worry.
Yes.
And that's a great, because and this is obviously we had the thrift store. Shopping there is another great way to support. If you're like, well, I don't. Oh, but I like, well, great. Come in, buy some Christmas gifts or buy some decor or buy some stuff from the thrift store. And that helps buy cat litter and buy all these things we need for the pets. So that's a great way. And speaking of, I'm guessing there's some sales going on with the holiday and everything right now.
Since Saturday or Friday officially marks December.
Yes.
The month of Christmas,
We're
25
officially
days.
Fully on in December by then.
So starting Saturday, December 2nd, all Christmas trees, decor, anything that's got an X marked for Christmas is 25% off.
Nice. And it's already deeply discounted before that 25% because, like I said, it's a thrift store. So
right.
This is so it sounds like if you want to put up your tree and all that stuff, but don't have the tree and all that.
They have a ton of brand new trees in the box.
And you're going to pay pennies on the dollar compared to buying them brand new at any store in town. So, and it's something that you put up once a year. Some people only don't. Some people don't keep them. They get rid of it or sell it or give it back. Which is fine too. If you want to buy one from the Humane Society and then donate it back in January, great. Well, and then buy it again in December. That would be awesome. But
and it's funny because there's a lot of people that do like different themes for their tree every year.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will buy like a colored tree, like a white tree or a green tree or like the blue or purple or pink trees, and then use it that one time for that theme and then donate everything.
Gotcha.
Because next year they're going to have a different theme.
Right.
Me, it's just Christmas. I'm not the theme person.
Right.
However, our Christmas tree is a gnome.
Well, Christmas is a theme. Like, I get it. Some people like it's going to be a train Christmas or going to be a whatever. Great. But, all of it's Christmas.
It is. It really is. Every day they're putting out new items for Christmas. They have almost gotten through all of the Christmas stuff.
Okay.
So if you're in need of stuff for Christmas, ornaments, garland, tinsel, lights, any of that stuff, come down Saturday. Starting Saturday, it's going to go 25% off.
Okay.
And then as it gets closer to Christmas, obviously they'll do different specials. But every day they're pulling stuff out of the shed for Christmas, putting out new stuff.
Great. So check back often because it might be a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like you come
or if
Saturday.
you're actually looking for something, ask one of them. Say, hey, do you guys have this maybe in storage?
Yeah, it could be back there.
You know, if you do, here's my phone number. Call me.
Yeah.
Camille's really good about that. If you're looking for something specific that they don't currently have, you know, if you ask her, will you watch out for this and call me if you get one? She's pretty good about that.
Yeah, she'll keep an eye out.
Also on Saturday, all hanging clothes will be half off. And all wall decor will be half off. All hanging wall decor will be half off. So if you're looking for, paintings to make the echo in your house go away because you just moved in somewhere, they've got a lot of really cute, really cool wall decor, some paintings, fun little things like the Hobby Lobby things.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a ton of those.
Wow.
So if you need things for your wall so you don't hear echo in your house when you walk.
Well, that's what makes a house a home.
It does.
It's the decor. It's the thing, I mean, generally when you see a home just, without pictures and everything, it's usually a rental space or they're there temporarily. When people move in, you want to make it you, and you can do that at the thrift store.
But even if you're
cheaper.
renting, you can get the command hooks that hold like 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So that way you're not like damaging, putting holes in the walls and stuff to be able to hang items. So just because you're in a rental doesn't mean you're limited to not hanging stuff.
And they work pretty good because the picture right behind me that's hanging up, that's on one of those little whatever it's called.
Command hooks?
Yeah, job. And I did have to put it up again once, like 2 years. So I've had to, in the 4 or 5 years, or 5, 6, I don't know, it's been sitting there for years. I've had to replace it since 2015. So I've had to replace it once in the 7 years it's been sitting there, or going on 8 years now. 8. Yeah. So
soon to be 9 because we're about to roll into a new year.
Yeah. So there's a testament for those command hooks there.
Yeah, they do. They work wonderful. I have a lot of stuff at my house hung up with command hooks.
And this is a cement wall. That's the reason why it's that way. So, sometimes it's a rough cement wall. So it's not, so the adhesive is working pretty, it's not the best adhesive wall to adhere things to. So.
And not the easiest to drill into either.
Yes, that's hence the reason the command hook. But so they do work, and so please come shop because every penny you spend in there goes right back to the pets.
And if you're still looking for like Christmas sweaters for Christmas parties or Christmas clothing,
especially the ugly sweaters and all that,
they still have a lot of it.
Good deal. So come shop there. Come. And spend a lot less money because if you order this stuff online or go into a store buying it brand new, you're going to spend a lot more money on that. And it's right here in the thrift store. It's right there. You take it home, and you spent like I'm telling you, what you spend $200-300 on an artificial tree brand new. What are they selling them for there?
Like $25, I think.
Exactly. That's my point here. And I know Christmas is expensive. and you already, especially if you got the family, and if it's an early Christmas, your new family, and don't have a lot of that stuff yet, and next thing you know, you spent thousands of dollars on decor and don't have any money. Yeah, and then now you don't have any money to buy Christmas gifts for anybody, and I get all that. So go buy a tree for $20 instead of that's brand new or practically brand new. Not pay $200 for it. Help the Humane Society out. Oh, by the way, here's a bunch of ornaments and things to go with it. By the way, a couple bucks for those. Go price ornaments. You know, a collection's a little nice.
They're not cheap.
And they exactly. So go there. Get your Christmas. And you're going to have a much more memorable Christmas. And I would even go old school with decorating a little bit. Like buy the stuff at the thrift store, but then maybe do like old family traditions like string popcorn around it. You know, like that's a family tradition like from back in the day.
I haven't thought about that in years.
But wouldn't that be kind of cool to do that with your family, like the kids, and you're all spending like a Saturday night just stringing popcorn to decorate the tree? I feel like that's a warm family moment right there. And you're eating popcorn.
So pop an extra bag of popcorn to eat while you're stringing the popcorn.
Yeah, you eat 2/3 of the pop. That's why you got to make pounds and pounds of it because ultimately most of it ends in bellies. But
however, if you do have pets,
yeah, that might not be the best.
String the top part with popcorn.
yeah, that might be the best. But either way, this is
then string the bottom with dog treats.
There you go. Of course, you might lose your tree depending on how well you string them. You might make them easily break away so they don't take the whole tree with them when they're trying to steal the tree.
True.
And with the cats, I don't know. Cats are going to dig. That's
their thing. That's their mojo.
Yeah,
you know, it's something for them to tamper with, and they're going to do it.
Plus, I think cats like greenery. They like to eat it. They like to rub themselves all up in it and get all in it. And they don't know it's fake tree. They think it's a plant, and they try to eat it or try to, that's just what they do.
And if you're doing a live tree, make sure that you have the base at the bottom where you put the water to help keep the tree alive.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you keep that completely covered so your cats and dogs cannot drink it because that water is toxic to them.
Especially if you're one of the folks, sometimes people put beer in there because they say it helps the length of the tree. That's an old wives' tale. I don't know if it's true or not. But especially if you do that, don't, cover it up so that they don't accidentally drink stale, toxic beer and water mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a thing I remember as a kid. They always said for live trees, you put a can of beer in the water and it helps make it last a little bit longer.
Learn something new.
I don't know if that was just what drunk people said or if that's real, but I don't know.
Every drunk person has the poor beer in its story.
But they always say cheap beer. Don't get the fancy stuff. Get your PBR,
Natty Ice is probably going to be
Natty Ice, something like that. Yeah. Something in that vein. But please use the thrift store as that chance for you to have an amazing Christmas and not break the bank doing it. That's the win for you guys, and it's a win for everybody because you spend $100 in there, and you got probably $1,000 really valued of stuff.
Probably.
And that $100 is going to do a lot towards making sure those animals pay for vet bills, to pay for that litter and the cat food when donations are down. That's what keeps the place going. They don't get a lot of money from other resources and things. It's pretty much self-driven, there's a few grants here to cover, and city helps with some of because they own the building technically, so I think they help with some of that. But a lot of it's on you guys, the Humane Society. So by you shopping there and supporting and doing all that, you're helping to protect and keep our animal population and making sure our pets are going homes that truly deserve to be pet owners and things like that, not people that do it for other reasons. But
we screen everybody, and it's not that we're trying to discriminate against anybody. We treat everybody equally.
Mm-hmm.
We screen you the exact same way that we screen the next person.
Sure.
And that's just so we can try to make sure that whatever animal you're interested in is going to be going to a loving home and not a home that's just going to, use it as a lawn ornament, outside, not be part of the family.
Or don't understand the full responsibility or scope of being a pet owner. And that's
it's
a big
expensive.
Thing. Yes.
It's very expensive. The bigger the animal, typically the more the expensive.
Sure. But this is why they're stringent about yards and fenced in yards and making sure you have the actual space to support this dog. And the fenced in yards are important because we have a pet overpopulation problem, and a lot of families get the dog and then the dog escapes, never to be seen again, and guess where they end up? animal control, the Humane Society, or dead.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And so we don't want that to happen. And we don't certainly want to adopt out a pet that goes to. So that's why they're very, it's the same for everybody. We love to have you adopt a pet, but you got to meet this, and this before we do that. If you can't do the yard thing, then talk about cats. The cats are indoors. You got to keep them indoors, and don't forget, every single pet that leaves that facility will be spayed or neutered and microchipped. So every pet that they don't go home to you, they will go to the vet of your choosing. And if you don't have one particular, they'll help you find one or select one. And then you'll make arrangements to the vet and pick them up once the surgery and the chipping process has been done. And then you take them home and welcome to the family. That's kind of what it is. But if you don't have a yard, I get it. Some people you live in an apartment. You love pets, can't have a dog. It just isn't feasible for a dog.
And there's a lot of apartments that actually don't even allow pets anymore, not even cats.
Or they spend a big pet deposit to get there too. But yeah, obviously talk with your landlords first and making sure your leases cover you or allow you to do that. But that being said, look at the cats are an option for folks. And I'm telling you right now, I grew up not being around cats. I was a dog guy all my whole life, and then I got married and cats came into my world, and I still love my dogs and the dogs, but cats are awesome. Cats are great too. They're fun. They're in their own way. They are great, and I ain't gonna lie, there are remnants of my two cats that are very dog-like. They follow you around. They're loyal to a fault, even though sometimes there's moments they don't act like it. They are, and that's it. It's really cool to recreate that once you have it with your family pets, and pet owners get it. And for folks that don't or try it, but if you want to bring that in, please come. I'm telling you, being a pet owner is more than just providing a shelter. It's being the part of the family. It's going to create the memories, the holiday memories, the good, the bad, and even the bad ones. When they chew up the shoe years later, you laugh about it when it was a thing, or they got into the Christmas present where they weren't supposed to. That happens. That's just part of. It's no different than raising kids. Kids do things sometimes. So do pets. And
they are kids who are nonverbal. That's basically
them. And to be honest, once you become a pet owner, the things that they do that you find like if they go to the bathroom in the house or they're not doing it to be malicious. They're telling you something. You just got to learn the language.
Right.
And as a pet owner, you learn that. So when the dog's pooping in the house all the time, you're like, there's probably a reason for it. But the dog is a good dog and loyal dog and everything. It's probably you're not training it right or not providing it whatever it needs to do these kind of things. And so that's the message it's telling you. It's like cats. If you see cats not using the litter box, it's trying to tell you something. And you need to be in tune with that. And that's you learn it as you hang around pets more.
Right. The more you're around them, the more you learn their lingo and the more that they learn yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be able to communicate with them in a way they understand you, and then you have to look at their signs and things that they do for you to understand them. Like our Great Dane, when he's got to go to the bathroom, I don't know why or how, but he looks at you and with his train station voice, he screams in your face. He goes, "Arr!" And then you're like, what the hell?
Message received.
And then I tell him, do you got to go outside? And then he gets all happy and he starts bouncing around and then he barks again.
Yeah, that's how you know dogs, if you got their question right. They'll get all, cats aren't the same that way, but they might meow a little more. But cats are also in tune in what you do very much. They're always watching you and studying your patterns. Why do you think the cat busts into the bathroom with you and all that? It's learning your patterns and your trends and adjusting its routine to your life because they understand all that. They get that once you earn that loyalty, so to speak, and with a cat it doesn't go away. It may be a little harder to get it, but once you get it, it's as strong as any dog out there. I'm telling you right now. It's just they show it a little bit different. That's all. So maybe a cat might be yours. Well, that's all I'm saying here is if you're like, well, no, I'm a dog guy. I can't adopt a dog, so I live in an apartment. Maybe you can adopt a cat. Look at the cat. I'm telling you, these cats need homes. We have so many feral cats and stuff. So for you adopting a cat from the Humane Society or walking next door to animal control, either way, you're helping do good in our community by doing that. So, please come and check out the cats.
We've got plenty of cats, kittens. We've got a beyond plethora of dogs right now.
Good. I mean, good, bad. I mean, good that people
Like-
are looking for them, than bad that you have that many animals in the shelter.
Yeah, we have a variety, literally from small to large,
So if you need the little dogs or you want the little yappers or the big ones, you got a selection of both.
Right.
So.
And if you want a working breed dog, if you want a lazy dog, I'm pretty sure we got it all.
We got you. And I'm going to throw this out there. I do it every once in a while. Don't forget to look at them older animals.
Mm-hmm.
I know the puppies and the kittens are always the most popular because, everyone wants a puppy or kitten. But take a look at them 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old dogs or older.
We
or them
actually do
cats.
have an 8-year-old schnoodle.
Okay.
His name is Mackie.
Is that a poodle and a schnauzer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was trying to figure out the combo there.
And it's really weird because he's like not standard poodle size and he's
Okay.
not schnauzer size. Like he's
like in the middle of both?
Yeah.
Because poodles can get big.
Mm-hmm, but
Yeah.
what the gentleman was told was he was supposed to be a toy poodle
Okay.
and schnauzer mix.
Oh, and it wasn't a toy?
No.
It was a full-blown poodle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably, I'm guessing, about a 50-pound dog?
No,
after all
it's
said
about
and-
30.
About
But
30.
he's just all legs. Like
Okay.
he's legs.
Okay. So
But he's super sweet. Very friendly. Came in with another dog.
And
so
older
he's dog to
dogs
dog
are-
friendly.
good deal. So the dog is good around other dogs, good around people.
Mhm.
It's well-adjusted. So this might be a good dog for someone like I always hear.
First time dog owner.
Yeah, or maybe this is the one that maybe you're single, maybe you got single grandma or grandpa that's still
Active.
and able to navigate their own life. This might be a good companion for them, someone that's not going to be jumping around them and up all in their business and talking them over, but at the same time is there being the comfort that dogs bring.
Right. And one thing that I do need to remind people of is we don't do gift giving.
No.
So
Yeah, that's a
if
big
you
no-no.
have a family member or a friend who is interested in adding a member to their family, bring them down and then let them be the ones who go through the adoption process.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, you're more than welcome to say, I'm going to cover these expenses as a gift for you.
Absolutely.
But don't get one, put it in a box, give it to them.
If
because, one, they need to truly have a bond with that animal that they're choosing to come home to.
Absolutely.
And two, they need to make sure that they're capable and really ready to accept the responsibility financially to care for this animal.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I know some people, you do like the element of surprise for the holidays, but obviously you don't want to be putting an animal under the tree or doing it this way. Can they talk to you about a gift certificate maybe and say, hey, I want to put it in their stocking, and then once it's all said and done, let them come to you and pick out everything, but or at least put something as a note under the tree to say, I got you a pet, let's go pick it out.
The only reason we don't do that is because they might not qualify for a specific pet.
I got you.
Because
Okay.
everybody, they go through their qualifying process, so
Okay.
they might want a German Shepherd but only have a 4-foot fence.
Gotcha.
So what me personally, I tell everybody is, if you are looking for a family pet and you want to help somebody, buy a stuffed animal
Okay.
and then get a card. And in that card, say, after Christmas, you and I will go to both shelters and we will walk through to find whatever pet fits your heart.
Give it an experience. Make it like an experience gift and use the pet or use the stuffed animal as the token
Yeah,
of
so
that
like
gift.
if they want a dog,
Mhm.
find a stuffed dog. If they want a cat, find a stuffed cat. If they just say they want an animal in general, like, I need a pet, I don't know if I want a cat or a dog yet. They've got combo stuffed animals where you got kitties and puppies together.
All right.
And
then we'll figure it out together on what,
and then,
what suits you best.
come through both shelters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that way, whoever is looking to add the pet to their home is the one who ultimately decides what animal is going to be in their home. And they get to basically pick out their own animal, like taking a kid to go pick out a goldfish.
Let me ask a question. Does the thrift store have stuffed animals for sale?
They always do.
Go buy it there, and you could do a little extra help out there, and then put it under
And they
the
even
tree.
have cards.
Good deal.
They have Christmas cards because that's where mine came from.
Nice. So if you want to kind of make it like a little gift thing, talk to the thrift store. They could maybe help you put a little package together to put under the tree.
They've got, so they have these really cool baskets, and I have not purchased them for a reason because I'm not crafty, but if I was very crafty, I would get it. They are the wooden, like apple baskets,
Okay.
but they're small, and somebody has painted them like Santa Claus's pants, like where it's got the belt and then it goes down to his pants. So you could get one of those baskets. You could put the kitty or puppy in it, whatever, and then you could wrap it up like in a plastic wrap and then put a card on it.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. See? Craft skills from someone who's quote unquote not crafty.
I have the ideas, but actually doing it is the problem.
Yeah.
I can give you all kinds of ideas.
That's me. I'm the idea guy. I got plenty of ideas, but execution, not my strong suit.
No.
Yeah,
I'm the brain, not the engineer.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm the guy. Why don't you? And then I sit back and watch it all happen. So
one and the same.
But please come and like you said, there's a great selection of all dogs and cats right now. Please.
Ella is getting to go to Great Dane Rescue in Colorado.
Oh, good.
Yes, so she is.
She was the long timer in the bunch, right?
Her,
she'd been
Willow,
there.
and Sapphire,
Okay.
and Willow is going to get to go to Albuquerque as well.
Okay.
So Sapphire is still there, and she's very sweet, very friendly, dog-to-dog friendly, good with kids.
What kind of dog is Sapphire again?
She is a lab pit mix.
Okay, so I owned one of those. Friendliest, smartest dog I've ever had.
She's more smarter than she needs to be because as soon as she sees the harness, she knows what's going to happen.
Walk time.
It's walk time.
Yeah.
And so she'll sit there and she'll wait for you to put the harness on.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets so excited. So we've learned that we have to clip the leash on the harness before we put it on her. Because as soon as she hears that last click from the harness, she's ready.
It's game on.
It's game on. And then she's like, come on, hello, what are we waiting for?
They're incredibly smart dogs. They're incredibly intuitive dogs. And I will tell you, my sissy, that I had her for 15 years, cancer finally got her. But that dog was that was the one I read the book and trained, and she did I could do the paw thing, I do the command play fetch, but I get her to stay and won't release. And she was the dog who did all that, and sounds like you got a replica of her in the Humane Society.
She's
right now.
super sweet, and she's not tall. She's short.
All right.
She's a little pudgy. She needs a little exercise, so she needs a little more walks.
Yeah, my sissy was probably about 80 pounds at her heyday.
She's probably about 60.
60. She's a little smaller. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So,
but like I said, she's not really big. Like, she's not huge.
Does she have the lab colors or the pit colors?
She's solid red, like a red pit.
Okay. So she's got the pit colors.
And then has the pink nose for what they call red nose pit.
Are the facial features more lab?
Yeah.
Or like the ears and the...
Yeah.
Because
like her body structure is built like a lab.
Yeah.
But she's just short and squatty like a pit.
Okay. Yeah, that's how my sissy... She had like a lab face, but a pit nose. So it was short. Like she didn't have the longer nose. She had the shorter one like a lab did. But she had the ears and everything. And their body... shape was a more lab-like, but she had more barrel-chested like a pit does, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And but she looked like, I think most people looked at her and she thought she was a lab mostly. I had to tell them, there's a little pit in there. But and she was all black with the exception of white chest. She had a white patch on her chest. And so it was lab colors. But yeah, telling you right now, that combination of dog is just, I'm guaranteeing if you want a family dog.
Yes, you want a good family dog that's going to love and protect. That's it.
Absolutely, that dog. And I'm gonna put a guess that if you have the kids rolling around on the floor, that dog will be right there with them, rolling around on the floor, playing with them, licking their face, and wanting to wrestle or do what the kids and dogs do.
Do the dog kid thing.
Or grown men like myself. I used to wrestle on the floor with Sissy all the time, and
John still does.
Yeah,
he does. He gets on the floor with Toby, and they go at it, and then Titus is like, I'm joining in, and then it's John and Titus, and Toby's like kicked back watching, and then when they both chime in, that's when I have to step in.
It's like, all right, too much noise, calm it down.
No, it's he's gonna get injured because Titus is like 140 pounds, and then Toby's almost 66 pounds ish.
Done too big for its own good sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get that. Doesn't brain? It's a lap dog. Actuality, it's bigger than a man.
So I have a photo, and it's on my old phone. John was working on the lighting for the trailers for one of the work trucks at Roswell Seed, and it's a Ford 450. And so it's wide, like it's a big truck because it's meant for hauling.
Right.
Well, John is laying on his side, working underneath the back of the truck with the wiring. Well, Titus went and laid directly behind John.
Okay.
And so Titus even kind of like curling up was still longer than John.
Oh, wow.
And so like Titus has his back legs stretched out and his front legs kind of curled up, and he was still like that much longer than John.
Wow.
And when John had shifted and did something, and Titus had moved to get closer to him.
Yeah.
So at one point, Titus was back to back, and like his head was level with John's, and his butt was way down here. And I was like, wow, even the dog's taller than we are. I was like, I don't think we fit the height requirement to own this size of dog.
Yeah, you must be at least tall to own this dog.
Yeah,
but
and he just and I was laughing because I was like, wow, I didn't realize, like, when he stands up, he doesn't, on all four legs, he doesn't look that tall. But,
once he rears up.
I don't like him to get up on his two back legs because it's not good for their hips being so big.
Sure.
Every now and then he will, but when he was laid out like that, I was like, oh my God, you are huge.
Yeah. You don't realize it's like Bigfoot sleeping with you sometimes.
Yes. But it's weird because he curls up in like the smallest ball. The boxer's the one that just is all, hey, taking over the whole bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Some are, I'm going to guess I'm guessing that's an instinctual lay posture thing, because cats do the same. They lay certain ways and it's instinctual. Like when you see them all curled up with their paws tucked under, that's actually a protective position. They can lay there comfortably, but they can get out of it real quick if they need to. So they like to do that position. It's kind of, I hang around cats. I've learned a lot from cats.
You have learned. Sensei has taught you.
Well, and I've always been that guy that like, I'll read the thing that pops up that says, 20 tips to tell you how your cat is, and I'll read those.
I read those all the time.
And some of them are very good. Some are so-so.
Some of them somebody thought up while they were sitting on the toilet.
But some of them are very, very informative. I'm like, yeah, because there's like a couple times that I've been like, she does do that a lot, and I was like, I thought it was this thing, and it's actually something else. But yeah, but anyway, it's very good. I just saw the time. If you are needing to get ready for Christmas, hold out until Saturday, and then come on down to the Humane Society thrift store. Doors open at 10?
10 a.m. They're open 10 to 4:30.
Come on down, and then at 10 a.m., and it's because they're starting the big Christmas sale. All Christmas items are 25% off on their already deeply discounted prices. So instead of paying $30 for that tree, you're going to pay $20 for that tree. And
yeah.
And instead of paying $250, $300 for it brand new. And so come down, take it.
And nobody's really going to know that it was used by anybody else.
And it probably is brand new. Like it was used one time, put back in that box, and sat in a closet for a year or whatever. And the same thing with the Christmas lights, all the decor, all of that stuff. And don't forget too, they set aside brand new stuff throughout the year to hold it back for Christmas time. So if you're looking for brand new items too, for actual Christmas gifts, come on down. They've got stuff like that, especially if you got hard to shop for people that are like into niche things or collectibles or certain books or things like that. A lot of that stuff you'll find at the thrift store there.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Come shop.
Shop.
Come be it was yesterday, but be part of the Wednesday crowd. When they open doors at 10 o'clock, you're part of the 10 o'clock coffee group that comes out and hangs out. And they've got, now you got to work.
Be part of the ladies waiting in line.
You got to earn your place in because they got designated spots. They've got everything already set up. So you got to come in with hat in hand to, find your place. But that way you can get in on the good stuff early here. So, maybe bring beverages or something. Be that guy. Hey, ladies,
bring the hot cocoa person.
Bring some cocoa, and you might even get to cut in line.
They might be like, here, you go ahead. We'll even give you a 1-minute runoff.
Exactly. We'll give you a head start on the shopping spree. We'll stand here. You go in there. We'll finish our cocoa. You can go shopping.
Oh, that's funny.
But please come out and support. And like I said, if you do have litter, again, the cheap stuff, the clay litter, the big bags, the stuff you pay $3-4 for a 25-30 pound bag of it. If you got that, bring it in, or kitten and puppy chow, cat food,
yes.
Kitten and puppy food, dry food.
Yeah, dry food. We have plenty of canned food, but dry food is what we use more so.
Well, you can't, and here's a tip. If you're a pet owner, you can't go all wet food with them.
You will rot
destroy
their teeth out
and everything
very
else.
quickly.
They need a healthy mix of that kind of stuff, or lean heavy with the dry, and then mix in the soft on occasion as like a treat.
So for the cats, we offer them in the mornings like a small slice out of a can.
Gotcha.
So, and that's just one as a treat, and two, it also helps put extra hydration into their body because cats tend to not drink enough water.
Yeah.
So
And the
But we
oils
don't-
and stuff in the foods are very good for them.
It is, and we don't do it every single day because we don't want to cause a stool issue.
Right.
Because sometimes when you put too much, it causes their stools
Oily
to
stools
get bad.
and things like that, yeah.
So we do it, 2-3 times a week, just to help them. Unless it's a small kitten that's having a hard time eating dry food, then obviously that's their primary food until they can get acclimated to the dry food.
So imagine at that point, they probably still should be nursing at that
Yes.
point. That's why that they're, and mom is not there to nurse. So we've got to do something else here. So, but just a tip. And by the way, when you go there and you want to ask these questions about, not like, how do you take care of it? But if you legit want to know that stuff, that's the beauty is everyone that works at the Humane Society or volunteers at the Humane Society are pet lovers. They know pets, they love pets, and they would be happy to share information on how to make your pet happier.
You're more than welcome to call
Absolutely.
or come down.
Absolutely. Give out the hours and everything.
For the kennels, it's Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Gotcha.
And then for the thrift store, it's Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 or 10 to 4:30.
Very good. RoswellHumane.org is the website.
Yes.
Go there. If you want to become a member, that's a great place. Go there, sign up. If you'd like to see the pets that are calling the Humane Society home right now, they've got a picture of every pet there. And I remind every time, if you do see not available next to the picture there, that means they're in quarantine. They're not adopted. They're still available for adoption, just not right now because they're either making weight or they're waiting on vaccines or they're new to the facility and we don't want to put them in general pop till we know that they're good to go. I don't hate to say gen pop because that makes it sound like prison, but that's kind of what we're talking about.
Basically, that's what we call it. We call it quarantine and general population. Yeah. So, if you have a fun new word for that, sure. Yeah. But quarantine is basically just for them to be evaluated and make sure that they're healthy before we place them up for adoption, so they're not taking anything home to your animals.
Absolutely, it's a safety thing, and it's for them and their benefit, and ultimately to make it a good home pet ownership experience for you. Because if you adopt a sickly pet with a bunch of problems, and then people
it's going to put a
through
bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, plus it's going to put you through the emotional roller coasters. If you fall in love with a pet and then you lose it because of parvo or something like that, we would hate for that to happen. So,
right.
So that's why we're very strict. So, but if you do see one not available and you fall in love with it and you're like, oh, that's such a cutie, call, ask about it. And when that pet is available to be seen or to be out amongst us, they will let you know and you can come on down and have a meet and greet and we'll start the process here. But so if you do see it not available and you're like, oh, that's the most adorable thing I've ever seen,
call
and check. Or I know some people are breed centric and like, oh, is that a Chihuahua or is that a King Charles Cavalier, whatever that thing's called?
Ironically, you got it right.
But please reach out. They'll be happy to do that.
Yes.
Good deal. Did we get it all?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you much.
Thank you.
And go and make sure your husband's not getting into trouble. I know that's a tall order. So.
Oh man.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. It is 9:57. Wall Street update.
Is passing a new ordinance that aims to preserve the city's history. The ordinance creates a new historic preservation board. The move would also allow the city to earn a certified local government designation, which encourages preservation of cultural resources and promotes partnerships among local governments, the state, and the National Park Service. The advisory board will make recommendations to the City of Carlsbad Planning and Zoning Commission and also to the Carlsbad City Council on proposed historic designations and projects that affect historic properties around the city. 2 more companies will get state economic assistance for manufacturing and job creation, according to the New Mexico Economic Development Department. The Borderplex in Santa Teresa will see Coast Aluminum and Monty Incorporated bring new jobs to New Mexico. In a prepared statement, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said, investing in New Mexico's international border to improve infrastructure and expand global trade is one of her top priorities. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit windy today, a few gusts at about 15 to 30 miles an hour. We have high pressure moving back in, so we should get sunshine and comfortable daytime highs right around 60. Overnight will be clear, low 30s, and then we'll stay in the low 60s for the high on Saturday. A little bit breezy, lots of sun, warming up a little bit on Sunday with sunshine, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned at next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're going to have scheduled the folks from Main Street Roswell join us, talk all about Main Street Roswell's Celebrate Downtown Weekend, which kicks off at noon today. So we'll talk about that next hour. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There is word this morning of the death of a former U.S. Supreme Court justice.
Sandra Day O'Connor made history as the first woman justice when she was nominated by President Ronald Reagan in 1981 and confirmed to the nation's highest court. She often was the swing vote in closely divided cases during her tenure. In a statement, the Supreme Court said O'Connor died of complications related to advanced dementia, probably Alzheimer's, and a respiratory illness. O'Connor was 93.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Israel once again hammering Hamas after the Jewish state says Hamas broke the Gaza ceasefire by launching rockets into Israel. Israeli fighter jets took to the skies, bombing terrorist targets across Gaza, warning civilians in advance of the gathering storm.
Black smoke billows from the besieged territory as Israel drops leaflets over parts of southern Gaza, urging people to leave their homes, signaling it was preparing to widen its offensive. Renewed hostilities have heightened concerns for the about 140 hostages who remain in Gaza after 100 were freed as part of the truce.
Correspondent Charles De La Desma. We are watching Capitol Hill, awaiting a House vote on whether to expel embattled Congressman George Santos. A House ethics panel accusing the New York Republican of financial wrongdoing, and Santos has been indicted, charged with stealing from donors and wire fraud. Santos insisting that he's done nothing wrong. A federal appeals court in D.C. says lawsuits against former President Trump, suits that he brought by Capitol police officers and Democratic lawmakers over the U.S. Capitol riot, can move forward those lawsuits against the former president. On Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 26 points and NASDAQ down 48. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Blue.com.
Japan is stepping up work on cutting-edge, clean nuclear power technology.
More than 500 scientists and 70 companies are involved in the project, based in a hangar north of the Japanese capital, Tokyo. The EU's Energy Commissioner, who was at the inauguration, said this was a true milestone for fusion technology. Current nuclear power plants operate by splitting atoms apart. In fusion, they're joined together. The process, which powers the sun, has the potential to produce massive amounts of carbon-free energy safely, but the technology has not yet been perfected.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. The Philippine Coast Guard has opened a new monitoring base on a remote island occupied by Filipino forces in the disputed South China Sea. Manila ramping up efforts to counter China's increasingly aggressive behavior in that strategic waterway. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A federal watchdog's investigating how the Biden administration chose the site for the new FBI headquarters.
It follows a contentious competition marked by allegations of conflict of interest from the Bureau's director. Virginia leaders have released a letter saying the Inspector General for the General Services Administration is probing the decision to move the headquarters from Washington to Greenbelt, Maryland, rather than a site in Virginia. While Virginia leaders call on the GSA to pause relocation work until the review is complete, Maryland leaders say the project will move forward. The agency has denied any conflict and says it chose Greenbelt because it was the cheapest option. Keith Peters reporting.
2 years behind the original schedule, Tesla has delivered the first dozen or so of its futuristic electric pickup trucks to customers. Represents more competition for GM, Ford, and Rivian, which already have electric trucks in the marketplace. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Mm-hmm.
We made it.
We did. We did it, everybody.
Happy Friday. We got here.
Say it loud and it sounds like praying. I can't remember exactly how that song goes.
Happy Friday.
You're welcome to it.
Hope your Friday's going swell and super. If not, there's a lot going on. A lot of good stuff going on. We got, of course, we got the weekend to get you in the holiday spirit with Main Street Roswell kicking off their celebrating downtown holiday weekend, kicking off at high noon today. That's right. Santa coming in with bells ablazing.
I want to take my son and be like, that's real. They're magical creatures. Those reindeer are real.
There you go.
I bury my son's face in it. His cynicism at
You
5.
will have Christmas cheer whether I like it or not.
We're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby and
We're going to quote Mr. Griswold from
That's exactly
Christmas
where I was going. And I want to look him straight in the eye. I can still, to this day, do that entire rant.
Yeah.
I can't do it on the air, not the entire rant.
Yeah. I got to be honest. My favorite one is the original Vacation with him and John Candy.
That's a good one.
That one, because the whole whistling zippity doodah line still to this day makes me laugh.
I feel like there's more, and maybe again, it probably has to do with when I watched it, how old I was, the environment that was around me, because I was with family and they were all laughing at jokes that I didn't fully get until I was older.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's why that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those kind of things, because you can go back and like rediscover things that that's again, watching it from a childhood sensibility to an adult sensibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that I enjoy every year.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I love Christmas Vacation. I love Vegas Vacation. I love European Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But the OG Vacation has the best lines from it. With the exception of the European Vacation line where the stewardess asks if he wants the Coke.
Would you like that in the can?
Oh, that right
I'll have that here. I love that he considers it. It's like, having a nice soda in the bathroom.
And then there's another great line from that movie, too, where they're sitting at the Eiffel Tower, and it's Clark and his daughter. I think it's the daughter. It might be the son. I think it's one of the two kids. I can't remember which one. And they're sitting there just kind of looking out over, the Eiffel Tower and looking at Paris. And Clark, he goes, "Isn't this a breathtaking view?" He's like, "Come here." And they're messing with the berets and all that. And he goes, "Isn't this inspiring? Doesn't it make you want to, go out and do things? You want to write, you want to create, you want to sculpt something massive with your hands, you want to do something. Hey, is there a bathroom around here?" He gets all inspired. He's just like, "Is there a bathroom around here?" Those are great lines to me.
You did, however, trigger a memory that I still to this day will do with my kids.
Yeah.
If we're driving around in the car and the windows are down, I've used this line before. I'm like, "You guys getting all that polite?" And then right when we get to stop the car, I go, "Rolling them up." You kids getting all that polite?
But I mean, the grandma is still eating the peed-on sandwiches. That line. I mean, there's just stuff from that movie
that was a good one.
It's hard to forget.
But honestly, I mean, the whole we're in the 9 o'clock hour, right? Yeah, the kids are in school. The whole Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass, Happy Hanukkah.
It is. It's a great. Well, in all fairness, like Christmas Vacation's funny. But Cousin Eddie's the star of that movie.
And that's where I differ. That's where you, because Cousin Eddie
has the best lines in that movie.
He's funny. He's got some of the best lines.
Yeah.
But he's also, and maybe this is because I have that relative. He's incredibly annoying.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what I love about it.
But that's what I can't stand.
I love that part.
I don't know. I love Chevy Chase's physical comedy.
Yeah.
If that man just never opened his mouth and started talking when he got older, he would have been fine.
But in all, I think we can agree that at the end of the day, the line from the Christmas Vacation movie that is most quoted is a Cousin Eddie line.
Sure. Merry Christmas.
The point's full.
The turlet was full. And yes, that is
that is the most quotable line from that movie.
With the exception of, and I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap line, so on and so on.
Well, that was just too much memory involved.
Oh, but that's what I loved about it. Honestly, I think maybe we could both agree that as far as quotability, Vegas Vacation.
They got some great lines in that movie.
I'll have some of the yellow.
When they go to the casino with the shady games and it's like guess a number or war.
And the yard mark, all that stuff.
The guess the number makes me laugh.
Guess the number one, yeah.
It's like 5, 7. Oh!
Guess which hand.
Yeah, there's some great lines in that too, and the whole Papadopoulos thing's pretty funny. Yeah, they're all good.
Put it all in a car.
But I think just because Vacation, like we knew what to expect.
Yeah.
For the other ones, the first one. That was us flying blind for most of us.
That is true. And
it just holds a little something special.
It had a lot of heavy lifting to do. It had to introduce the characters, let us know what the setting was.
And it did just such a great job of us really endearing to the family and to the whole trip. And I ain't going to lie, too. John Candy's a sleeper cameo in that movie.
Yeah.
He is so funny in that movie.
He's pretty funny in that movie, admittedly. But that was also right during his stride. Like he was in his moment at
his
that
high
point.
water mark. Where it truly was a quote unquote, cameo appearance for him because he's only in the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie. But spoiler, if you haven't seen Vacation. And I'm talking the reboot, the OG original Vacation. Which the reboot was funny too.
It was pretty good.
It's not as good as the others, but it was right.
It was more funny for like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
It was like when they first when you first saw the car, all the stuff that the car did, that was pretty funny. And then the scene, the mud bath scene.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's pretty good.
Well, but that's like the most cringe of those, because I'm like, of all those, you're all of us are like, Rusty, what are you thinking, man? Don't go down that road. Don't go in there. I mean, come on. You gotta have. You're a pilot, for Pete's sake. You gotta have some kind of brain here.
Ed Helms is one of those. He has a real. I think, he has a punchable face.
Right.
He has one of those. He just looks like he looks like he was in a frat in college, or maybe a glee club.
Well, and I think that's why he kind of nails his character in now the brain just went completely blank. The Hangover movies.
Oh yeah, the Hangover movies. Yeah. And honestly, the only time I've ever liked him as a character was in The Office. That's the only time I've ever actually rooted for him as a character.
I enjoyed the movie Hall Pass with him in it.
See, I never saw that one.
Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah, I recommend you watch it.
Well, I've been granted the permanent hall pass, sir.
Yeah, but it's a movie.
Turns out you can enjoy a hall pass. Oh,
it's a funny movie. You don't have to just because your real life doesn't, image it. I'm not a rebel, but I still watch them. I'm not Darth Vader, but I still watch it. So, our guest. I don't think any guest is here.
No, I think she knocked it out earlier in the week.
I got a feeling, yeah. Did she say nobody's here? Okay, I heard her speak. I didn't hear what Jocelyn said, though. No guest. Got it. All right. Well, maybe I'll figure something else out to play here if we don't hear from her in the next few minutes. But it was kind of one of those things. It's their normal thing, but she did come on to talk about Main Street Roswell's big downtown weekend. It does kick off at noon today. The Christmas market. Of course, they'll have and if you haven't already noticed, coming downtown, they've already blocked off some of the side streets downtown. They were in the process of doing that when I got to work this morning. Mm-hmm. So if you go down like some of those streets adjacent to the courthouse lawn there, which I guess is 3rd Street on one side and 4th, 5th, I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But those right there are all kind of blocked off. Not Main Street, but the streets to the side.
The side streets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. But anyway, they're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. The downtown merchants are going to be offering sales and special treats at each of the locations there. Santa Claus will be coming to town. Here, he'll arrive between 3rd and 4th Streets in front of the courthouse with the elves leading the way.
Uh-huh.
And then Santa will officially light the community Christmas tree at 6 p.m. tonight. And then, of course, after that and all that more celebrating and fun, there's caroling and choir, music, all kinds of stuff. And then at 10 a.m. tomorrow, the day 2 of your Celebrate Downtown holiday weekend continues. Beginning at 10 to 7, that's when the market will be open with the food trucks, downtown shopping, treats, and all the good stuff that's going on today will open back up. At noon and through 4 p.m. tomorrow, they're going to be doing free kids' crafts on the courthouse lawn. Crafts for kids, not crafts to make kids. Just to clarify.
You can hold crafts to make kids on the Travis County Courthouse lawn. You may get arrested.
You might meet some of Santa's elves if you did.
That's what we like to say, frowned upon.
Yes. So don't do that. From 11 to 4, they're going to have free digital photos with Santa, and that's free. Like you bring your camera, and Santa will be there, and you can put the kids around Santa and do your thing. They'll also have the 360 photo booth out there, and that's a nominal fee for that. It's very inexpensive. I don't remember what it is, but if you want to do, and I've seen it in action once or twice.
It's really cool.
It is pretty cool. They kind of do this thing where they put you in this little round, glass room kind of thing.
Do they do the thing where they throw the snow?
I don't know. I think each one's different.
The ones I've seen are it's just like an action. Like you do a thing, or throw a snowball or something like that, and then just.
Yeah, I imagine they'll have some really kind of things you can do in there, and then it turns into a pretty cool little video for you afterwards. But they'll be offering that if you've never seen or done that before, you can come downtown and check that out.
I'm gonna take the kids tomorrow, and I'll let you know what it's like.
Yeah, at 6 p.m. will be the Electric Light Parade, and it will start on 13th Street and move south and wrap up at 3rd Street. So if you get down around the courthouse lawn area, that's good spot to do it.
Prime watching location
area for that, but that'll kick off at 6 p.m. And then after the parade, roughly around 7 p.m., they're going to have the free movie on the courthouse lawn. it will be Muppet Christmas.
Yep.
And so they invite families to come and bring your lawn chairs and your blankets. And, I think they're going to have cocoa and different vendors and stuff out there to get you some treats and sweets.
Such good weekend.
Popcorn and what have you to come down and, spend a little holiday movie time with the family. So all that kicks off today at noon. And we'll continue till tomorrow evening, probably when the movie wraps up about 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Do yourself a favor. Inject a little holly jolly into your weekend and kind of force yourself to start feeling the holidays.
Yeah. Plus, it gets you to jump on some of the shopping. And I always, I get it. Convenience, shopping on. I mean, we all spend our times online or in the big box stores getting. I mean, it's what humanity does. But if you are looking for things, give Main Street downtown a try first. Come down and look.
There's some cool stuff, man.
You'll be amazed at some of the stuff you find at all the merchants. I guarantee, especially clothing, decor, collectibles, tchotchkes.
Up into Ancients of Days, you're going to find some great stuff.
I mean, even things you don't think necessarily Christmas about, like appliances and tires. And which, by the way, I mean, someone gave me a new refrigerator for Christmas. I'd be like, I'll take it.
I saw a meme the other day. It said, for Christmas, I want a utility bill paid, three dinners. What was it? 3 dinners. It was like all the essential things.
Yeah.
Oh, a new set of tires and a full tank of gas.
Yes. Those are great gifts. But fellas, I'm warning you right now. If you're going to be buying small appliances for your wife for Christmas, that's a bad idea. Unless there was a full, all parties involved are cool with its decision. Because I'm telling you right now, as a man who's been married 20 plus years, if you roll in there on your first Christmas and you give your spouse a blender or a instrument to cook your family dinner, they're not going to take that well.
I'm going to argue with you here.
Unless every party's involved. But if you're trying to surprise them and it's like, I got you a blender, prepare for a not
now
warm
let me present a counterpoint.
Okay.
If you walk in and it's first Christmas and you say, I got you a Sunbeam blender, then yes, pound sand. But if you walk in and say, I got you this Ninja. Have you seen the Ninja blenders that are made for like smoothies and stuff?
I get
These
it.
things are high end. These things have a motor that's more powerful than literally my car.
Okay.
I mean, and it's like a $200 or $300
Unless
blender.
your spouse shouted from the rooftops that they wanted this thing? No.
I don't know, man.
Trust me. As a man who's still married versus man who's not married, trust
You're going to tell me. You're going to come in here.
Unless they're on board,
you're going to
don't do
sit
it.
there with your glasses, and you're going to tell me that if you gave your wife a KitchenAid stand mixer for Christmas, she'd get mad at you.
If she didn't express to me that she didn't want one, I'm sure
KitchenAid, dude, those things are like $400.
Okay, in year 20 of my
/pounds.
marriage, maybe, but not year 1 of my marriage.
Okay, I don't know, man.
If they have that, I'm just telling you, because they're going to be younger folks, and they're not going to be, they're going to want something that's special to
All
them.
right.
They want, like, they're not going to, remember that year you got me a blender? They're not going to sing that. They're going to be, remember the year you got me the necklace, or you got me the whatever.
Okay. I also have a pro tip. So now you understand. Now you've heard the Mike Winters pro tip towards gift giving for
Happy
relationships.
wife, happy life. It is a mantra. Say it, repeat it, rinse, repeat, do it. Your life will be good.
I'm going to give you the Sean Smalls rule for overall gift giving on Christmas.
All right.
Never, under any circumstances, give someone something for Christmas that is Christmas themed. That's infuriating.
I can totally
because
get that.
you can't even enjoy it until really next year.
The only thing I would make an exception to the rule on that is
food.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. If you got somebody like some chocolates or something that's perishable, that's it.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody a coffee mug with a reindeer on it, thanks. I get to use that today and then next year.
Unless it's the Marty Moose one. Then that's good
fair
year
enough.
round.
That's true. That is... Yeah, holiday themed. Like I said, if you get somebody a leg lamp, you could put that up year round. I don't think anybody's going to judge you for it.
Yeah.
But
if it's just a standard garden variety Santa thing or something, or that's not a good gift.
If you get me like a little mini Santa Claus that's like that putts a golf ball and like a little bathroom game.
Right.
That's cool. I'll play with it today and then just throw it in my closet and forget about it completely, not even bring it out next year. Because why would you?
Yeah, I get that. But I'm just telling you, just I get it. It sounds like and it is a good idea. Really, it's a useful thing. I get it. But at Christmas is not the time to give that. No. Talk about it. Give it outside of the Christmas holiday.
Okay,
it's just special. Now, if you've been married for 100 years and you talk about it and do all that, that's one thing.
If you've been married for 100 years and you get your wife a stand mixer, then good luck to both of you getting to move in.
I use the generic 100 because, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever that number is.
Sure.
You got anything past we'll say the 7-year itch, anything past that, then that's a little bit different because you're very knowing of each other, hopefully by that point. But year 1, 2, you're
knowing
still
of each other / annoyed with each other. At that point, though, I feel like that's when you're probably going to get the most heat for getting somebody a blender for Christmas. You got me a blender, really?
Well, but again, hopefully you've talked to them about this.
Because also in this, and I got to go because I got to do the other station. But again, you got to remember, first year, early bird, whatever. You're going to be like, oh, thanks. That's all. You're going to lay it on thicker.
Right.
Even if it's an act, you're going to lay it on thicker.
But it's an act. That's what I'm telling you.
Sure.
They'll even light up and tell you, but deep down, they're resenting that gift.
But I know a lot of married men where the act, that's plenty.
Well,
that's all they need, man.
And that's why some of them still aren't married anymore.
No, you just slide into a loveless marriage. That's all that is. Well, it's fine.
All I'm saying is just it's just think a little bit.
Speaking of loveless marriages, I got to go do country radio.
Yeah. See, but like my wife and I have been married 20 years, so we're at that point. It's like, what do we do for Christmas? We'll usually buy a house gift for ourselves, and so that's kind of how we do it. Because we don't, if each other want stuff, we just get it for each other. So it's just trickier. But I'm just telling you, I know Sean's got some good advice on some of that, but young in marriage, do not go too practical with these gifts. I'm telling you, it will blow up in your face. Unless everyone's fully on board, but surprising, it's gonna end bad. Just speaking from experience. All right, it is 9:25. I've not seen our guest yet, so let's do this. Let's get you up to date with the weather. We'll take a quick break here as well. I'll try to dig up some. We'll get to an interview to play here to get you all up to date on some stuff. So we'll do that. Quick break, and then I'll come back and lead up our interview here. Unless our guest shows up, then we'll go from there. But quick break. We'll be back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit windy today, a few gusts at about 15 to 30 miles an hour. We have high pressure moving back in, so we should get sunshine and comfortable daytime highs right around 60. Overnight will be clear, low 30s, and then we'll stay in the low 60s for the high on Saturday. A little bit breezy, lots of sun, warming up a little bit on Sunday with sunshine, mid 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7 and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
It's back and bigger.
It's going to be intercepted.
And even better.
And has Beeman open. And he caught it. There's a dump pass for another touchdown.
The XL Energy Wool Bowl is back Friday, December 1st in Roswell, New Mexico. New Mexico's only college football bowl game below I-40. Food trucks, kids zone, pregame concert with Will Bannister. Purchase tickets now for only $5 at woolbowl.net.
Are you the type of person that takes pride in being the one who gets it done? Do you ever get frustrated when you're doing all the work and everyone else gets all the benefits? Sometimes
and good
you
morning.
may even
It
get a little
is
cranky.
8:24,
I know I do.
and joining
The holiday
us
seems
in
to make this even worse. Luke 10 tells the story of Jesus visiting the house of Martha, who is the sister of Mary and Lazarus, whom Jesus later will raise from the dead. As Jesus is teaching, Mary is sitting at his feet, taking it all in. Martha is being the excellent hostess,
And good
preparing
morning.
dinner for her Lord and teacher. She is frustrated by Mary's lack of help and complains to
And
Jesus
good morning,
about it. The response Jesus has is, you're worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, really only one. Mary has chosen the best. Being dependable and having a good work ethic are excellent traits. However, if you're always busy and always doing everything yourself, are you too busy to spend time with Jesus? During this season and throughout the year, choose the better one. Choose to spend time with our Lord and Savior.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Santa Claus is coming to Roswell Nissan.
Oh my God!
Yup, the big guy in red is kicking off your holiday season this Saturday at Roswell Nissan from noon to 3. Enjoy free hot cocoa and cookies, as well as a Christmas ornament decoration station and story time with Santa himself. And you can even get your picture taken with Santa. So bring mom, the kids, even grandma. Santa Claus is coming to town this Saturday from noon till 3.
Santa here? I know him.
At Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 729
and 719.
Our
guest
joining
didn't
us
make it
in
in
studio
we're going to
this
play
morning
this
from
interview
the
we had earlier in the week
Salvation
with Sherry
Army.
Calloway.
She's
Calloway
with the Salvation Army.
Good morning. And of course, it is bell ringing season, looking for volunteers. And they also, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they've got their big pancake and omelet breakfast, all you can eat, $7, and all of it helps Salvation Army. And where you're going to get an all-you-can-eat breakfast for $7. But anyway, here is our interview with Sherry Calloway from the Salvation Army here in Roswell. Enjoy. In studio this morning from the Salvation
And good morning,
Army,
it is
Sherry 719, and joining us in studio this morning from the Salvation Army, Sherry Calloway with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Great to be here.
Great to have you. And we were just talking a little bit before we went on air here. And of course, Sherry's relatively new to Southeast New Mexico. She joined Roswell community here, the Salvation Army here in Roswell back in August. So you saw a little bit of our heat. Of course, you being spending time in Arizona, you're well versed on that kind of thing. So.
Yes, we were hoping it'd be a little cooler here than it was, but it stayed warm a long time.
and to be honest, that's a little out of character for us.
Yeah.
We don't get quite that hot.
We
get
felt
warm.
responsible.
You brought it with you.
Yes.
So, but have you been indoctrinated into the world of the green chili yet?
No, I probably will never.
Not good for your dietary area.
I'm an Iowa girl, so I'm kind of bland.
Well, if maybe they can get you, because there's some mild ones that you won't even taste the heat.
Yeah.
I think if you get your hands on the right person, they can get you some Mexican food with a lighter green chili. And I think because to be honest, I'm like you. At first, I wasn't a hot person, but green chilies actually have a flavor. They're not like jalapenos or other ones. They actually contribute to the flavor of a dish.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Anyway, I know we could talk food all day, but for folks that, I think everyone's very familiar with the Salvation Army. Probably most people think right away, well, this time of year, the bell ringers. That's probably the most visual thing that most people, when you think of Salvation Army, you think of the holiday season, and you think of them standing out in front of department stores, ringing the bells every year. It's kind of been a tradition for most of our lifetime. So
yes, exactly.
But that's actually kind of just a sliver of what the Salvation Army does. They're raising money, but they just help people in need all year long. Whether it's help with bills, whether it's help with food or actual resources. I know one of the things that's kind of always been a pet project of Salvation Army here. Locally has always been fans during the summer, making sure there's a collection of, if people need to cool down, here's a free fan, do that kind of stuff. But that's really, when you drop your coins and dollars into those bell ringers, that's what that money's going for, is to really help people in need wherever it is. And it's whether it's money, whether it's a place to live, whether it's food, whatever it is, they help the needs of the people that need it. So
yeah, what I like especially about that is that 100% of the money stays here. It doesn't go off to headquarters or another community. It's to help Roswell.
The Salvation Army chapter locally, the money they raise stays in the community in which they serve. So.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm proud of that because there's a lot of need here.
Well, and I think that's what is also part of the beauty of why Salvation Army works. let's face it, if you get into charitable organizations the size of the Salvation Army, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of, potential for things to get messed up there. Where the Salvation Army kind of does the best of both worlds, because you run it sort of like a military. I mean, you're not doing drill and all that kind of stuff, but there is like a chain of command with uniforms, and obviously it's a Christian faith-based organization. But it uses that chain of command, which I think kind of helps organize and keep. So like, at the end of the day, the Roswell chapters is independent of itself and can do whatever it needs to do. But when it needs the help from the parent company, it dives right in to do what it's got to do.
That's true. Yeah. We get help from the headquarters financially, and we're very thankful for the way William Booth set up the Salvation Army back in 1865.
I got a quick question while we're talking. How does one recruit for the Salvation Army? Do you apply like any other job, or is it more like a military thing where you have to go through some screening and kind of like military has a version called MEPS? And that's where they do all your kind of screenings and things. Yeah. Is there something similar to that in Salvation?
Yes and no. There's different levels. Like one way is our congregation, our church congregation, and those we call soldiers.
Okay.
And that's the membership. Is being a soldier, and that's just making friends and inviting people to church. And
are they the volunteers basically, or are those actually paid? Part of the Salvation?
Oh, no, volunteers.
Volunteers.
The congregation will, as they're physically able, they volunteer with us, and we have a small but mighty force.
Good deal.
Yeah, and then there's the officers like myself, and there's a training school, a seminary that the majority of officers go through. It's a 2-year seminary.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
so are many of the officers also kind of considered pastors or preachers in some way as well, too?
Yes, 100%.
In that same level, I guess you could say?
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then my husband and I, so we're both pastors. I let him do the preaching, but I serve alongside of him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he handles the talking, you got the nuts and the soup and nuts of making the thing happen.
It's funny you say that, because I'm the spokesman for the community, so I love to come and speak to Mike Winters and get on the radio and talk to any organization I can. And he does the work at his desk, but on Sundays he's the preacher.
He's in the ministry part.
He's been doing that for 31 years and very good at it. And I'm fairly new to the preaching part.
Good deal. Well, like you said, the stuff in your heart, that's there. That's the rest will work itself out, kind of thing. So you'll get good eventually, or get experience to it eventually. But,
yes.
But we really are looking. This is the time of year we're always looking for more support and help here. Obviously, if you see the kettle ringers, they're out in full force now that we're kind of through the Thanksgiving holiday here. They come out in full force. I imagine you're always looking for more volunteers to if you would like to be a bell ringer.
Yes.
That is still a thing. We can still make that happen.
Right.
If you're interested, a lot of times families do it together, or so if you like to do it with the kids and kind of make it a lesson in service to your family, something like that.
Exactly.
Salvation Army loves when you can make these teachable moments for your family.
That's right. We just had a pastor's wife with her small children yesterday at Sam's Club for a couple hours, and they were well loved by the customers coming into Sam's.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful.
I'm just saying, kids do help make the, when there's kids there, people are a little more generous when they see cute kids there.
Kids and dogs.
Yeah, that's right. They're weak spots for all of us. We know.
Exactly. That's right.
But yes, there's still opportunities. Like right now, we, pretty much all the major shopping centers here in town, Walmart, Sam's, both of those will have bell ringer representation.
Yep.
Farmers Country Market on North Main, of course, that shopping center there with Ace Hardware and everything. Albertsons on South Main, of course, another big spot for folks. The one on West 2nd as well. Hobby Lobby over there by the mall, and then the Walgreens on North Main. So all places that we all frequent on a regular basis here in town.
Yes.
And I know there's a few more too, so if we get more volunteers, we could probably add to that list if we needed to.
Yeah, we love our volunteers. So.
Now, if people want to go a step further, and this is probably a part where maybe people know, but maybe a lesser or not even realize it's part of Salvation Army. But talk a little about the angel trees and the locations and And this is like kind of a next level of your kettle bell ringing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all part of Christmas. It started, well, for years they've been doing toys for kids, but in 1979, a couple of officers realized that a lot of kids don't ever get new clothes,
Mm-hmm.
so we've added clothes to the Christmas angel tree, and that's wonderful. Some kids love getting clothes more than others. But
Absolutely.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
are more fashion conscious than others
yeah,
are.
exactly. And some don't really appreciate getting underwear for Christmas.
Well,
but
let's get it right. The boys want toys and
Yeah.
things. The girls want dresses and
exactly.
and
the moms want them to have clean underwear.
That's right. And they just get them some socks and some underwear.
That's right. Yeah, we're
that
good.
Is,
We're good. Yeah.
the original shade.
Yep. And then also they get a Christmas food box. There's going to be a lot of food for the families that applied to be angels. And so we're excited about this. We haven't, here in Roswell, they haven't given out food boxes for a few years. So we've started that tradition again.
Great.
Yeah.
But if people want to donate clothing and toys and things like that, you can visit any of the Angel Tree Box locations. There's a couple here in town. Of course, while you're at Walmart, you can always pick something up and drop it off there. Same at Sam's Club. You want to do a little shopping and then drop it off in the box right there. Kind of a one-stop shop. Do it all right there. Your Pioneer Bank locations, all of them in town. You can wherever you're at, North Main or on Second, or wherever Pioneer Bank is near you. Also at Crossroads Church, which is 1224 West Country Club Road. You can drop off your stuff at the box they have there. First United Methodist Church, just a couple blocks over here on Pennsylvania. And then, of course, your Roswell Toyota and Roswell Nissan dealerships. While you're in there, buy a car if you can fit in the box. I'm sure we can find someone to do that. But
Exactly.
But if you've got clothing or toys and things like that, new toys.
Yep.
As far as the clothing goes, new as well, or will you take some gently used on that one?
We strongly prefer new.
Okay.
Because these kids a lot of times don't get new.
So and they're Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
and
so we prefer new. Yeah.
But imagine if it's practically a brand new coat that's been worn once, and you think someone can use it, we can bring it to our attention, and we'll make sure that if it's a good serviceable coat that was worn once, or I get it, kids wear something once and then they outgrow it.
Yes.
Especially here in New Mexico, some winters. That one winter, we didn't have a winter really, and then there's a winter we had a winter.
Yes.
And you need the coat, but the kids, they grow.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
So
That's right.
even if you had a kid during the winter, there's no winter, but you got a coat. So.
That's right.
And so, of course, another thing I do want to put on people's radar is you guys are going to have a pancake breakfast coming up here in about a week or so.
Yeah, December 12th or 9th. Sorry, we have Santa coming to our Salvation Army, and there'll be free pictures for the kids with Santa. He's got a beautiful toy backdrop that will be a lot of fun for families.
Good deal. So you got to get those to create those memories and you always got to have the pic. All parents have pictures of their kids on Santa's lap.
Some are crying, some are happy. So
it is a tradition in every household, probably in the United States of America.
Yes,
so,
it sure is.
So add to that tradition and come on out and have some pancakes and get your pictures in Santa and let the kids tell Santa what they want for Christmas and all that good stuff.
And if you don't like pancakes, we have a omelet bar. So you can have scrambled eggs. You can order however you want your eggs cooked. It's
like a restaurant in here.
Yeah, exactly. About 10 toppings that you can put on your omelet. So
nice. And that'll be on December the 9th, Saturday, December the 9th. It'll be in the morning, obviously. It's a pancake breakfast, 7 to 11. And it's at the Salvation Army facility there on College, 612 West College there.
Yep.
If it's only $7 breakfast for adults, which have you all tried to get breakfast anywhere? You can't even get McDonald's breakfast for like $7.
No, not anymore.
Children, $4, 5 through 10. And children 5 and under free. Just kind of ask for a little extra on your plate, and we'll take care of the under 5-year-olds get taken care of there. But so, and then again, of course, all the money raised will go back to programs through the Salvation Army, helping to take care of when folks come in with rent needs or other needs, a place to stay, or what they're homeless, whatever it is. When people come through the doors, there's money there to make sure that we can take care of and get them, especially as the winter months come here. We're going to get more and more need for food demands, warmth, cold shelter demands like that. It's just what happens as the weather changes here. So, so come on out, eat a bunch of pancakes, sit on Santa's lap. You know, I'm sure if even an adult or two, if you really got, but make sure you're little. You know, give Santa a break.
That's right. Give Santa a break.
But we'd love to have everyone come out and have great, cheap breakfast. That's going to be with an omelet bar and everything else. It's going to be like eating at a family restaurant.
Yeah, it's all you can eat.
So, but that's going to be December 9th. So mark it on your calendars here for that's probably not this weekend, but next weekend, I think, off the top of my head.
Right. Yep. And we do this every second Saturday without fail. So we try every month to have something a little different.
Okay.
So this time we have Santa. Last month we had a Veterans Day.
So kind of mark it on your calendar. Is just make it the second Saturday morning of every month. Make it Salvation Army breakfast day.
Yep.
And just kind of put it that way. You're like, all right, we're going to get a good low-cost breakfast.
Yes.
And we're helping a charity organization, and we get our bellies full at the end of the day.
That's right, and there's a lot of fun there with the community. The neighbors come together and visit, and families are there together. So there's a lot of fun conversation.
Well, that's the biggest part of Salvation Army is the service, the care. It's the fellowship. It's the connecting of human beings together. That is just as much part of the Salvation Army as in making sure someone has a meal at night or a roof over their head. You know, it is bigger than just that. So
yes,
and of course, you know, come out to the breakfast if you happen to see some of the volunteer bell ringers and ask them if they got if you got questions like, hey, I'd like to volunteer. What do I got to do? Or what's it like? And obviously, you guys work around schedules and things. So, so if you like, I'm only available certain days, and no problem. Then we'd love to have you those certain days to bell ring.
Right. Even an hour will help.
Absolutely, because
nothing is too little.
It pretty much, I know you guys try to cover as much of the store hours of these different locations during the entire holiday season, and so it's a 7-day-a-week volunteer job here.
Yeah, actually, just 6. We don't ring on.
Don't
Sundays.
work on the Lords on Sunday. That's our day off.
That's right. That's right.
But the other 6 days, we're out and about making sure.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the stores is our goal.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I would imagine, as you get on those nights where they stay open a little later, or something, some bell ringers like, no, we're gonna hang till 10 because that's 3 more hours we can get some money raised.
Yep.
And like you said, all of that. And the great part is, like you said earlier, is every time you drop $1 or a quarter or whatever in those, it's staying right here locally in southeast New Mexico and Roswell in this area. This is helping people in need. And I think we all know, we see, you see the need out there. We go to every intersection. We hear the things in the news about, they're kind of shipping homeless to us here. And so, people, the community's been picking up that mantle and helping where they can, not only Salvation Army, but other organizations getting involved as well, too. So it takes all hands to get this done. So please, if you find it in your heart, got a little time, or maybe, like you said, maybe you're a family, and you got the kids, they're, getting to that age or they're just about school or something, and you want to teach that lesson of service and helping your fellow man. That's, sometimes that's the best lesson is when you let the kids come and see the good work and see and meet, some of the people that, it also gives them perspective on their own lives and things like that. When you're trying to teach those values of, respecting what you have and responsibility and appreciating the things you have. This is a great lesson for families for that too.
So. It is. And the angel tree, taking a tag off of the tree does that too, because it
gets personal there a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. They get to see, this child doesn't have the opportunity for a toy that I have at home. So,
it's almost a direct result. Like, obviously the bell ringing is great and helps, but you don't really see the people per se or know much about the people per se. Whereas the angel tree, you got a little background, you got a little history. It's like, wow. And then, especially with kids, they can imagine, maybe they're thinking, well, maybe because of what I did, now they're going to be a little like me and be able to enjoy some of the things I enjoy.
Right. And have a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
So
please come out to the, just, come out to December 9th, but just go ahead and put on your calendars, second Saturday every month, between 7 and 11, come on out to the Salvation Army for breakfast and a delicious, affordable meal. That's what I'm saying. You actually got the businesses beat, because they're like, Can you give me a full pancake and omelet breakfast for $7? You cannot.
Not all you can eat.
We'll see you at Salvation Army.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we're hoping to get our numbers up. COVID, was hard on all of our services, and,
Sure.
and our pancake breakfast is one of our fundraisers besides the kettles only at Christmas. So
They're kind of your big tent pole, ways to bring money into the organization.
Yeah, exactly. And it's heartbreaking too. I get calls every day for people that need help with rent or their electric bill, and we don't have funding for that. So it's just heartbreaking, and we try to send them to other organizations that might be able to help them. But we help with New Mexico gas bills, and that sometimes, even though the gas bill may not be as big as the electric, at least we can help.
Sure, because a lot of times it helps with heat or cooking, or
right, and it saves that money that they receive from New Mexico Gas to put onto their electric bill, for example.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, because when you're juggling,
yes,
utilities,
yep,
every little bit helps.
Right, if you don't have to pay your gas bill for a month or two, it can really help just ease the tension. So.
But if you come and load up those ringer the pots,
yes.
And come and bring a few friends to come eat pancakes with you every month, and we can get to the point where they can help with, maybe outside of some of the other bills and things like that. But
exactly, that's our goal.
But it takes us, the community, to get out. So for the love of God, come out and eat pancakes.
Exactly.
Do the Lord's work. Eat some pancakes.
Exactly. Can I talk about our other services?
Absolutely, please do.
Thank you. Most people know we have a Salvation Army food bank here, and that helps. We have two government programs. One is for seniors 60 and older.
Okay.
And one is for any age. That's called the Emergency Food Assistance Program. TFAP is the acronym, and that can help any age. They have to qualify, and it's by self-declared income.
Okay.
So most people that think about food insecurity will qualify, and they can get a food box, a very full, overflowing food box once a month.
All right, great.
Here. And
so
then,
please, if you need those services, please reach out, because I'm guessing, especially when we're having the conversations we're having earlier about, okay, so it's now the winter month. I don't have, because of this credit, I can, not pay this bill and then pay this. If you're in that scenario, which a lot of people are, I'm pretty sure a box of food each month will definitely help.
Yes.
To make that a little bit easier transition, where maybe you can now pay both bills.
Right. Exactly. That's what I always ask people when they're hurting for money is, have you already applied for a food box? Because that can take pressure off.
Yeah.
And also,
especially in this day and age where, $100 at a grocery store does not get you a lot anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's amazing how prices have gone up and sad. So,
which again taxes you guys, because you guys have to go buy this food, get this food. So that's why it's important for you to fill those bell ringers up to come in these events, because it is a year-round need for what just because they do their collections in the holiday season, the need is 12 months a year.
Exactly. And then we also have our thrift store, the Salvation Army thrift store with a big red metal roof down on Southeast Main. And that can help. Tuesday through Saturday, we're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that can help with some of the clothing needs. If you can find, and some of the stuff comes new with tags on, so it's a fun place to look for treasures.
Absolutely.
And to save money.
And that's to any because the money again goes back to the programs and things. So really, the thrift store's for anybody that likes a bargain.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you right now, especially two things you should always hit the thrift stores first for. Every single time. And I don't care if you're a billionaire or don't have two nickels to rub together. One is holiday decor. If you're spending a bunch of money on Christmas decor or Halloween decor at brand new at stores, you're throwing your money away.
Exactly.
A lot of people donate that. You could get a brand new artificial tree or used once tree, and you pay hundreds of dollars for those brand new. You get it for pennies on the dollar at a thrift store. Exactly. The other thing is, if you're a young person and you're just kind of getting out of college or getting into the workforce, and then you get your first job, and you're like, oh man, I got to buy business professional clothing, dresses and suits and things like that. Next thing you know, you just ate up your first 3 paychecks paying for a week's worth of clothing.
That's right. Yep.
Go to the thrift store. There's brand new or gently used business attire, dresses, slacks, shirts, ties, suits, all of that, and you could buy you a first couple of those, probably pay $100 for an entire week's worth of business clothing. And I may be actually highballing it there. You probably do
lower,
it. Yeah.
Yep.
And now you've got basically a week's worth of business attire, and you didn't spend thousands of dollars. And you just helped a great organization, whether, if it's Salvation Army, if you went over to the Humane Society thrift store or the Roswell Refuge's thrift store or any of these other great organizations, you're helping them. So please, when it comes to, holiday decor and especially business attire for basically young professionals starting out that you need to hit these places first. It is not only smart, it's just going to make your transition to adulthood or into that next phase a little bit easier.
That's right. Great ideas, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are very thankful for the community. They donate to us. They think of us. And we do have a truck for furniture. You can just call our thrift store and make an appointment. We'll come pick up your furniture for you. And also we have half price every Saturday now. Everything in the whole store is half price on Saturday.
Nice.
So you don't have to remember which Saturday it is.
It's just every Saturday.
Every single Saturday, yes.
But if you make it in on a Friday, you're still going to save a bunch of money because you're going to get some great stuff, and
it'll be there. It might not be there on Saturday when you went in on
exactly.
Friday. Yeah.
So if you see what you want to see, don't wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
Get it now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's okay to pay. Sure, the sales are great, but at the end of the day, this is a nonprofit, and they're trying to raise as much money as possible.
Exactly.
So if the sale helps you get what you need to get to survive, awesome.
Yep.
But if you can afford to pay a little bit more, go ahead and just pay what they were asking for originally, or give, because again, it's considered donation. It is all going to help people in this community. So you got a coffee table, really awesome. That's a lot cheaper than you expected to pay.
Yeah.
Make that up a little bit. Throw a few extra dollars there if you can. If you can't, no biggie.
Right.
Glad we can help, and thank you for shopping. But if you do have the means and want to do that, this is a good time of year to do that. Think of those kind of things. So trust me, every penny that you give will go into helping someone in this community. Exactly. Every single penny.
That's so true.
Good deal. What else do we got? Did we cover it all, or is there some other stuff we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I always just want to briefly mention that some people don't know that Salvation Army is a church.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Sunday services. Our worship service is at 10 a.m. at the 612 West College Boulevard.
Okay, so if you're looking for a church home, and you're thinking, I didn't think about that. Salvation Army, come for services.
Yeah, it's a small congregation and very friendly and loving. So we
got a feeling very service oriented.
Yes, yes, always something to someone to help. So, and also we have free breakfast every Sunday morning at 8:30 to about 9:30.
Well,
we have a free breakfast. So.
The Lord knows there's two things that go hand in hand: food and church.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah,
everything that goes together. Those are the combinations.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. But please, so come out December 9th. Mark the second Saturday of every month as Salvation Army breakfast morning. Come out, like I said, this December 9th. Going to be pancakes and omelet bar, all you can eat, $7 for adults. Come on, you can't even get I think the number one meal at McDonald's is like over $7 now. So you're going to get a full, and it's all you can eat. So we come and every $7 you donate goes back to helping in our community. So if you want to pay $10 or $15, that's okay. We'll be good, especially if you're going to be a big eater. A couple more dollars. If you're like, I'm going around $4. All right, let's chip in a little bit more.
Yes,
but please come out, be a part of it, and then of course, if you're interested in being a bell ringer, reach out to just stop by the Salvation Army location. Talk to Sherry here; she'll be happy to come by. Or if you're coming out to services on Sunday, come on out 612 West College, and you can ask about the being a bell ringer or volunteering in any other capacity. Exactly. And then of course. If you need any questions or anything, don't forget Salvation Army here locally has a Facebook page. Yeah. You can reach out to there if you like. You're like, I don't remember all them locations again for no problem. We'll get that to you, or call us. We'll be happy to tell you. But it is the season, and then there's another thing too. It's like if you're a little worried about giving and knowing where it's going and how The Salvation Army's got the best of both worlds. It's one of those things that Salvation Army, I can trust that every dollar I'm going is going to help what it's supposed to be and do all that. And then like Sherry had mentioned before, I'll even go one better on you. Every dime that's raised through Salvation Army here locally stays locally. It doesn't go to help other folks in say California or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we wouldn't mind if we needed to help them, but the money you donate goes to help people that live in your community.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, imagine if there's a big disaster, big something or another, we need to rally the troops, and then that money's going to go rally the troops and do what they got to do. But it's all earmarked to help people here locally, and we've got Salvation Armies there helping them out too. So
That's true. We're everywhere.
that's right. And are you guys international, or is it just national?
We are. It's 139 countries in the world now. Yes, we are. And it started, of course, in London, England. So, yeah.
Are the uniforms different from country to country? Like, do the British have a little bit more flair on theirs than the American counterparts? Or?
Some of them are different. Yeah, some of them are quite different. It's kind of fun to Google some of the history of the uniforms
Sure.
and all of that.
Now, do you guys go like military where you have like your fatigues are daily and then you have like dress uniforms and all that?
Yeah, it's pretty much just with the tunic is the formal, and without the tunic, which is what they call the jacket.
Okay.
And so without the jacket, with just the shirt is the fatigues.
Okay. I didn't know if you got like really like, because sometimes military uniforms, they got like ball gowns and everything else, and they're military issue. And you're like, whoa. So I didn't know if y'all went that crazy.
No.
I didn't get to those. I wasn't. I was too much of a. I had stripes, not stars, so I didn't go to those events. But
yes.
Very good. But if anybody has any questions, is there a good phone number or something they can call through Salvation Army?
Yes, our main phone number is 575-622. 8700.
You don't call it often enough. You don't remember, right?
I don't.
But please call that, or come by on 612 West College, or come by the thrift store there on South Main there, and of course, like you said, Facebook as well. You can shoot a message there, and of course, don't hesitate. Ask a bell ringer if you're out in Target or Walmart or wherever you're at, and you got a bell ringer out there ringing the bell. Ask them, say, "Hey, how did you get involved in this? And how do you?" Or I have a couple questions. You mind? And obviously, a lot of them are volunteers, so they can't get into all the depths of the Salvation Army. But how to volunteer, what what the money's going towards, all that kind of stuff. They'll be happy to answer those questions.
Yeah,
so, good deal.
All right.
Well, Sherry, as always, appreciate the visit, and we look forward to talk to you again soon. And welcome to Roswell.
Thank you so much, Mike.
All
Really
right.
had fun.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye now.
All right, it is 7:50. Let's pause for news and your Taps County Sports Update, Team Commando Update, and a few
And some of
commercials.
the people probably do it here because it's a headache for them. But I don't think it's good for institution.
Santos' expulsion follows a critical ethics report on his conduct that included converting campaign donations for his own use. The New York representative becomes just the sixth member of the chamber's history to be ousted by his colleagues. Expulsion requires support from 2/3 of the House. Also at townhall.com, retired Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court, has died at age 93.
During her tenure on the High Court, O'Connor often was a decisive vote in key cases. In 1992, she led a 5-justice majority in the Casey decision that upheld Roe v. Wade. She said the court's obligation is to define the liberty of all, not to mandate our own moral code. In 2000, O'Connor was part of the 5-4 majority that effectively resolved the disputed presidential election in favor of George W. Bush over Al Gore.
White House correspondent Greg Cluxton says O'Connor died of complications related to advanced dementia and a respiratory illness. The Dow had 188 points, and the NASDAQ is up 32 points. More at townhall.com.